out finally?
I think we did. All right. Well, let's give people a few minutes here.
Has anyone watching?
Hold on.
How do we look?
Hold on.
Not good?
We are baddest bad.
Technical difficulties here.
With who? With us?
Of course. I was.
Of course.
Alright, you guys are good now.
We good?
Yeah, you're good.
We on?
All right,
Yeah, you're
Let's give people a few minutes.
Did we figure this out?
I gotta share the new link now, though, because I had to end the other one.
How the hell do I share it then?
I'm doing it.
Okay.
Anybody watching?
Not yet. Technical difficulties. We're figuring this out as we go.
Gotta be careful what I say then.
Yes.
So we're live?
Yes. Spielberg.
This damn technology, I tell you.
Hey, we got one.
This is
We're just figuring out we got to share.
technical difficulties.
We have to share the new link, so give it a sec. We're working through it. Skids, have a snack.
You shall. Remember I told you we used to put spaghetti inside this thing? No, I did, dude. Smell it.
Wow. Do I start to look like Milli Vanilli? Like, hey, yo.
You start lip syncing for us?
Hey. All right,
Go,
we're good.
you know it. Go, you know it. Oh,
the
fuck,
phone.
that's right. We're at your new place now.
Yep. We're in the new venture.
I gotta keep it PG. Fuck. What's
There's
new?
3 people watching.
All right.
Hi.
Well, let's kind of get down to the show here. So,
Alright, so we on now?
welcome, guys, to Descent into Horror Hell's annual Halloween episode.
Ninth.
Is it 9?
The 9th annual Halloween show.
What does that tell you? We've been around too long. See, we dress for success, though, can't you tell?
Or dress to depress. Whatever.
Whichever. So, yeah, like, we haven't been around for quite a while. I went through a move the past, through summer. But, you know, we finally got back together.
New digs.
We got the
You
band.
digs?
You digs. We got the band back together, and that's the exciting part.
Yeah. It's great to be back.
So, thanks, everybody that's so far tuned in.
We're gonna give you a little bit of time to
To get in the...
get into the groove.
And let's check this out. Hope everybody's doing awesome. We're in fall now. Halloween's right around the corner. What, 2 days away?
Yep, 2 days away.
On
man.
Tuesday, so hopefully all your trick-or-treating.
Halloween is on a Tuesday though, man. Doesn't that suck?
Yeah, it
I
does.
gotta work. The little bastards are gonna be knocking on my door. No one's gonna be home. I just have to leave a bucket out, I guess, that says take one. Remember when you were a fucking
right.
kid that said, when you saw that one house, like says take one, and you're just like,
And you took
oh,
6.
score!
you
Fuck
took
that, I
8.
took the whole bottle.
And you took 6.
Oh, I took the whole thing, man.
So, yeah, I guess we're going to get kind of into this. You know, that was kind of a little background on kind of where we've been. Hopefully we're going to keep this show going for you because, you know, the people that are dedicated really want to see this. So,
It's a little more difficult to do the show these days, but we'll definitely find a way. You know, definitely we still love doing this, still passionate about it in the horror genre, and hopefully y'all guys and gals stick around for it. And definitely some badass shit from Descent into Horror in the future, I believe.
So let's get into the Halloween spirit. And we talk about films all the time about what gets us into the Halloween spirit, what gets us into the pumpkins, you know, the fall leaves,
Scarecrows.
Night of the Scarecrows,
Yes.
or the 1988 Scarecrows. Trespassers will be violated. I love that tagline. It is fantastic. But we're going to talk about some films that, you know, some other ones, some newer ones that get us into the Halloween spirit. Hopefully we can turn you guys on to those. So without further ado, I will start.
What you got, Ghoul?
So last year we got to see this film
Sort
at Days of the Dead down in Chicago. And it got right before it, like, the shit started flying.
Literally.
And
Yeah, it
all
was
of a
like getting
sudden-
really bloody.
and it froze up, and there's this whole big thing. But The Barn Part 2. Now, we talked about The Barn, the original, which has always been a fan favorite, I think, of ours and a lot of other people.
Oh, hell yeah.
The Barn 2 brings back a lot of the main characters. You get the jack-o'-lantern, the miner, and the scarecrow. But this one has...
And the boogeyman.
And the boogeyman. And this thing has such a twist to it. So the story basically humpbacks off the first one of the tale. And they want to throw this Halloween party, these sorority girls, want to throw a Halloween party, and they find this barn where, ironically, there's a well where all the demons kind of lay.
Well,
It will. And
sorry, I had to.
so this one really kind of takes it kind of takes like the first film's kind of campiness.
It's kind of a tribute to Sam and Josh's legacy as well.
And they do come back.
Yes,
You do find out they do come back. They never
Josh is a
in
little
the
late.
first place. So yeah, he was right at the end. He's like, I came back to save the movie or save everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the Barn 2 is a lot of fun though. You get your gory kills. There were parts I will say that were a little more cheesier, I think, than the first.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you guys for stopping in, talking about the Barn 2.
Yes. Great film.
There was a lot more just kind of like random kills.
Well, I think Justin M. Seaman.
Justin M.
I never said the name of the straight face, but he had a bigger budget. Not much, but he had a bigger budget, and he also had a lot more people to help him with.
When you had Lloyd Kaufman in as a cameo, Joe Bob Briggs as a cameo,
Yeah.
you still carry along Lana Quigley, who plays what's her name?
Mrs. Barnford.
Barnford, as Lloyd called her, who's trying to stop Halloween altogether. But no, I mean the characters. You get the corn cob killer. He comes
Candy
up,
corn scarecrow.
and then you have the goblins that kind of put all the other creatures back together, more or less.
Yeah.
They're kind of healers. And
I
then
like
you
how
got
they did that.
and then you got the pig.
Very subspecies style.
It is, yeah, and that's kind of the cool part. And then you also have the pig, who goes around just chomping and squealing at everybody. You got the bird. I mean, there's like this whole new cast of characters that really started to build this. And at the end of the movie, you get another teaser as to a possible third Barn.
Hopefully, man. I love the Barn 3.
And most of these films are fan funded.
Yep.
Which is really cool. I mean, I remember when this came out, there was so much merch. There were shirts, there were socks, there were board games, there were
Where's he say?
video games. I mean, so it's crowd funded, which is really nice because it gives back to the fans, and the fans are able to be a part of it. So
Absolutely.
which is really cool. So
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
Yeah.
Is that still a thing?
You believe so? Yes.
I had no idea. But definitely gets you into the Halloween spirit. And if you haven't checked out the original Barn, definitely check that one out because I think somebody's going to be probably talking about that. So,
Maybe.
The Barn 2, check that out.
Solid sequel. If you're at all a fan of the first film, you're definitely going to dig the second one.
All right, Skid Gore, what you got?
Well, there's many movies. There's a plethora of movies that get me in the Halloween spirit, but this one takes the cake.
What a big word, plethora.
Oh, I missed you. Wow. Nobody
Hope you broke your disc.
Fuck you. There's nothing in here. Trick or Treat. Man, like, we talk about this movie so many times if you ever watched Descent to Our Hell in the past, but I mean, if we're talking about movies that get you in the Halloween spirit, I definitely had to throw this on there because what Michael Daughtry did was just a throwback to kind of like the Creepshow anthology horror films, you know, of the past. Just a love letter to that, and you can totally tell obviously the character of Sam. I mean, I'll tell you, if you ever go to like Spirit Halloween or Halloween City or whatever fuck is, you know, in your town, you will definitely cannot go anywhere without seeing Sam. Yeah. So he is definitely in pop culture now.
He became a cultural icon.
He did, yes, just like Art from Terrifier 2.
Yep.
But you know, at the time nobody knew who he was, and it's just amazing how much this film has blossomed and become such a cult favorite. Literally, it's a good word for it. It's a cult Halloween classic.
That was what, 2007 already?
It's 2006, I believe.
2006. I mean, think about that. That's coming up on what, 20 years? I mean,
Dude,
it's amazing because.
And I remember this movie had a horrible fucking theater run too. Cause
yes, it did.
I don't know if it did have a theater. Maybe in some cities it did, but it really didn't do any box office smash hits, you know. But it just did kind of a word of mouth type thing, you know.
Became a cult.
Yes, and it just. That's just history, man. Sam is an icon, like we said, and I love the homage to John Carpenter. You know, the old guy.
Yep.
Michael Daughtry actually did a homage to him, so that's why he looks like that in the movie, which is kind of cool.
See, I love that. I love that about newer films that they do those homages to those old
Oh, yeah, dude.
icons and
Absolutely.
stuff. And
Just
that-
to really just, we hopefully get a second one. Michael Daughtry is talking about a second one. He's been doing it for a couple years
we'll see.
now, but
yeah.
I totally hope it goes through because I'd love to see Sam stay in the screen red again, man. Fucking badass. Trick or Treat. Never seen Trick or Treat, guys.
Gotcha.
Highly doubtful.
And don't watch.
I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother has seen Trick or Treat by now, but if you haven't, for some reason, check out Trick or Treat.
And you can also check out Trick or Treat from like, what, 87 with Ozzy,
Oh, 88
88 with Ozzy.
with Gene Simmons and
Gene-
Ozzy.
there you go. Check that one.
With Sammy Kerr.
All right, now we are going to be hitting one that probably a lot of people don't know unless you're in the underground itself. So this one we talked about. I think Skidgore brought this up in one of our last episodes from Rock Bottom Video, Chubbies. Now this one is not going to be your typical everyday kind of horror film. This movie is fucking weird. Literally, there are aliens, and they're almost like these little. They're like mad balls. If anybody remembers mad balls,
Ooh.
and they're called chubbies, and they basically get exiled from their home planet, which sex is outlawed, and they end up on Earth to basically procreate, sex with anything, and the only way they can do that is by entering orifices. By any stretch of the imagination, I'm talking.
In scientific terms, that means ya asshole.
This movie, again, this was one that I picked up at Days of the Dead. Got to meet the guys.
Same here, yep. I was with you. It's awesome.
And this movie is it's a blast.
Really cool guys, too.
Mike Hartman directed this one. And this, like I said, which is really cool because the original score is done by Slasher Dave from Acid Witch. And if you guys know Slasher Dave, he did the soundtrack to this, which is
Fuck
fucking
yes.
killer. So, this stars a lot of the people that we know from independent films that we're really big on and big into.
Nathan Rumler.
Guess it was last Brian Papadrea is in there, which we actually got to meet.
They were all really cool people.
But yeah, this movie's just it's a lot of fun. It's kind of borders on a horror comedy. Of sense, kind of really gross, a lot of sexual references, but I love when they get locked in their bowling alley and Nathan Rumler's character just plays this.
He's gotta have his boombox, dude.
Oh, he's gotta have this totally laid back, stoned out hippie. It's great.
Yeah.
And
not much from real life either.
No, not much has changed. But no, this is a lot of fun though. If you guys can get your hands on Chubbies, which sounded really gross, but hey. If you can get your hands on Chubbies, go for it.
And Chubbies will get its hand on your asshole.
And this was from 20... When did this come out? It was 2017 or... No, 2020?
It's got to be 2017, I would imagine.
It was recently, but yeah. If you guys like that, those kind of fun, off-the-wall, independent films, Chubbies is definitely the way to go.
I love the bowling alley.
Yeah, it's definitely got an old-school Halloween vibe in it.
It's like a love letter to the 80s.
Yeah, so definitely check that one out, guys. I think you'll enjoy that one quite a bit.
Yeah, that was a really...
I know we did. It's a lot of fun.
That's a really good one. One I really enjoyed here, called Tales of Halloween. Definitely an amazing horror anthology that gets you in the spirit. God, there's so many great stories on here. Sweet Tooth is probably my favorite. Billy Ray's Tale was great. Trick was great. Grim Grinning Ghost, rest in peace, Stuart Gordon. He does a cameo in that.
Yeah.
Along with Lin Shaye. You remember Friday the 31st, right? Tweak a tweet, tweak a tweet. That little alien.
Yeah.
Tweak a tweet. Yeah, that's a great one. My favorite is probably This Means War, which is it's a Halloween decoration war between this one guy who's more old school mentality for Halloween, decorations, ghosts and goblins and shit, tombstones and stuff. And then there's this dude who lives up right across the street, and he's got all the gory shit and the viscera hanging from the trees and
the
shit.
stuff people get banned for.
Yeah, pretty much. But there's a war between them, obviously old school versus new school. And this guy that's into the gore, he's actually wearing a Crowbar shirt the first time you see him, which is awesome. I saw that, I'm like, fuck yeah. But
probably really was a fan too.
Yeah, but
I imagine
Tales of Halloween was a really good horror anthology collection that you'll just dig.
And there's a lot of them too. I think there's 12. Is there 12 or? I mean, there's a lot of it. There's a couple of them, aren't there?
Oh, there's like 1031. There's so many good ones.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah, but
So-
Tales for Halloween, my pick for sure.
So I like that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
The other one I have, the last one I have, I guess, for is 1993's Body Bags, the Tobe Hooper film, which actually kind of becomes, it's like a super group of directors and cameos and actors, and I mean, it's insane. It's an anthology of 3 stories. And what's really funny is, like, when I first put this on, you see John Carpenter playing the mortician, he's like a kind of a bumbling idiot in a way, but he's got these really bad, like, funeral puns, death puns. It's hilarious. And that really gets you into it. It sucks you into it. He's like the crypt keeper. Like, he moves you on to the next story.
I like when he's drinking the formaldehyde.
So yeah, I mean, you get Tobe Hooper and your Roger Corman, Wes Craven, all have.
I gotta say, Wes
cameos.
Craven's cameo when he scares the shit out of her when she's like, it's her first
In the
job.
booth,
Yeah, it's on their first job in the gas station, and creepy Wes Craven just comes out of her. That was cool. It's
Of course, you have Mark Hamill from Star Wars. He's also in one of them where a baseball player loses his eye.
John Randall.
And he gets basically a transplant of an eye. And he starts seeing all these visions of the person's. And I think he was a killer, correct?
John Randall,
yeah. So he starts seeing those visions of the murders and stuff. And it really is well written. But it's
that one scene where the body comes out of the ground.
Yeah.
Creepy.
It's so, yeah, definitely check out Body Bags.
Oh, wait.
Oh, he's got something to say.
Stacy Keach.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy about losing his hair.
Yep.
That's
That'd
what that's what stands out for me. Stacy Keach going all crazy because he's losing his hair and has to go to like this hair transplant.
And then he starts like filling out like.
Yeah. And then there's more to the story than just, hey, I have a set of hair. But I love when he's like freaking out because he's like dyeing his hair and shit.
Yep.
He's like, I'm losing my hair. You're not a bald guy. Why are you acting like a baby? Why? I got hair like a baby. That's always one that stands out.
So definitely check out 1993's Body Bags. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It is a lot of fun. You get a lot of horror legends in there, you know. So a lot of those guys are gone now. Wes Craven, Tobe Hooper is gone. Corman is gone.
Nope, Corman's
still here.
Corman's still kicking.
I thought he was gone.
Nope. Still kicking.
But yeah, you definitely get a lot of legends in there. So check out Body Bags. You will not be disappointed. Any questions or anything?
Ashley said, "Love the pumpkin hat."
Thank you very much. Got it at where did I get this? Walgreens for like $7. So I'm sure it'll probably die after tonight. But I figured whatever. As long as it
Yeah,
works
if you
for
guys
tonight.
got any questions along the way, feel free to ask. We're going to have a Q&A session.
Probably gonna give it
pretty
to
much
my.
the entire
I'm
show,
probably
so
gonna give it to my niece. She'll like that.
stretch that fucker out.
Yeah. All right, my last one. Well, we started with the barn too, so we're gonna end it with the barn.
The OG.
Yeah, we touched the base on this a little bit when we talked about the barn too, but you want to talk about a movie that really gets you in the Halloween spirit as far as atmosphere goes, with leaves, pumpkins, all kinds of crazy shit. This one definitely takes the cake. And I love the candy corn scarecrow, the Hollow Jack, and the Boogeyman. And if they ever, Trick or Treat Studios or someone ever made like masks of these, I totally would eat these up. Because I think
If they made them right, because Trick or Treat kind of gets cheesy on certain ones, but if they made the
it's
good
some
ones,
some of them they do, but
that'd be like that mask that the guy in the Boogeyman in the part 2 when he's playing the Boogeyman, there's all the bulgy eyes. Yeah,
I think the
something
masks
like
looked a lot better in this one
that.
actually.
Oh god, yeah.
But yeah, I mean this Halloween obsessed kid named Sam, just obsessed with Halloween, basically makes up this whole story about.
We got a dog trying to get at the
yeah.
door.
Oh shit! I was gonna say that's not him. But just a great movie. Like if you guys never seen The Barn, I definitely would recommend it.
It's
good
got
gore.
It's got probably one of the, aside from like Dead Alive, has probably one of the coolest like just massacres in one place.
Oh yeah, at the party.
Like, oh my
Yeah,
god.
that party seems a shit, man.
So if you like Dead Alive and the whole lawnmower scene inside the mansion, this kind of has something that's close to that. It's just a lot of bodies at one place.
Yeah, and this is a total throwback love letter to 80s horror.
Oh, for
You
sure.
got Lillian Quigley in it from Night of the Demons. You got Ari Lehman, the original first Jason from Friday the 13th.
Yep.
It's just loaded. It's just so much fun. I love it. It's suddenly. I used to Trick or Treat was my favorite, but this is actually starting to slowly climb up on the hill
That's a
as
good
far
one.
as my favorite. Because I just throw this on around Halloween, after Halloween. I just love it all the time. Just gets better with every viewing. And you know, like you said, the Barn 2 is great too. But definitely check out both of these. The Barn.
So I mean, those are movies that like we were thinking get you into the Halloween spirit. We hope.
And of course, watch John Carpenter's '78 Halloween. Avoid Halloween Ends. You heard it here. Even though Laurie Strode did steal my truck.
Yeah, that's right. I remember watching that. I saw the memory of that come up.
It's like, Skids, she stole your truck. I remember that.
Anything? Nothing. See, now what sucked is now we don't have Ninja Badger because.
Oh, we're talking to ourselves.
No, we're not talking to ourselves. We're actually talking to people. So thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
So now what we're gonna do? I don't know what the hell are we gonna do. Do you want to do music?
Yeah, we're going to do a version of Planets Collide.
So if you guys don't know what Planets Collide is, Planets Collide was our version of throwing music at you, because we always figured that the music we listen to really coincides with the films that we watch, and
Absolutely.
Planets Collide kind of started to make sense. You know, two planets, horror and metal, or horror and whatever, just collide, and that's kind of what we wanted to do, and it became our music aspect. So we're gonna throw some music at you that we think you guys should check out. Not necessarily horror related or Halloween related. This is just bands that me or Skidgo really like that we figure, hey,
Yeah.
you know, turn some people onto it. So
Before you jump into that,
yeah,
Dave said All Hallows Eve is great.
All Hallows Eve is really good. That's where art started.
Oh, the movie. Yes, very much.
All Hallows Eve is tomorrow. But no, the movie that
That is a great film.
that art really
Dude,
started
what's up, brother?
with. Yeah, that art started with. All Hallows Eve 2, though, not good. I did not care for that
Oh,
one.
I didn't mind it.
I
It
didn't
was.
like
I mean,
it.
it doesn't have Art the Clown, but it does have some pretty admirable moments.
It was all right.
I think it's kind of like people shit on it because Art's not in it, but give it a shot. You might like it.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. I'm not saying it's the worst thing I've ever seen. Dorm of the Dead owns that place. That movie is fucking terrible.
I like Dorm of the Dead. Actually.
Shut up. It's not good. It hurt for me to watch that one. Anyways, so let's throw some music at you. You can start. Because I had music. Or movies. Sorry.
Actually, my all my picks are Halloween and horror related.
Fucking nerd.
My first is a punk band. I believe I don't remember where they're from. I should have done my research. But they're called October Rising.
October Rising.
And they got a album aptly titled Halloween. So there you go. But if you're all a fan of, I wouldn't necessarily say Misfits, but obviously there's Misfits worship in a lot of these horror punk bands. Why wouldn't there be? They're kind of like the Black Sabbath of horror punk, you know. Misfits are, but and Sam Hain, but definitely if you're at all a fan of any of that type of music, you're definitely gonna love what October Rising does. And it's got a really cool homage to Salem's Lot, which was one of my favorites. And when you
Mr. Barlow.
yeah, when you listen to the song, you kind of get that atmosphere. You're looking at the Marston house, I think. At least when I listen to it, that's what I get. But great band, October Rising. Check them out. With
That
their album
recent
Halloween.
recent.
I think it's a little older. I don't have my bifocals on, so I can't see.
Get sunglasses on.
But yeah, check them out. You probably find them on YouTube, I imagine. But I've been a champion of these guys for a while. I don't know what other stuff they put out, but this one was a A+ record for me. Halloween Rising, October Rising.
The one I'm going to throw out is a band called Impaled. This is Mondo Medical. This
Carcass
is
Worship.
so this band, yeah, it's basically like if you listen to like old Carcass, if you listen to like Exhumed, some Macabre stuff, bands like that. You'll get a riff like it's kind of that new age gore grind, death metal. But this, this isn't blast beats like 24/7 like a lot of those grind bands do. Literally just all about death and mutilation and all that kind of stuff. It's basically like Cannibal Corpse, maybe a little bit more sped up. Came out of Oakland, California, started in '95. This album is actually the only one I own, but it's from 2002. My favorite one is called Choke on It, and it always makes me think of Day of the Dead. Choke on it.
Captain Rhodes, choke on him.
Oh,
yeah.
So, yeah, if you're kind of into like early Carcass and stuff like that,
Repulsion.
Repulsion Impaled is going to be right up your alley. So, and I love the artwork on that. Look at that. You don't find covers like that anymore.
I have an album by theirs called The Dead Shall Dead Remain.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorites. It's got Raw Sewage on vocals from, I think he was formerly from Exhumed. So Exhumed and Impaled are kind of like
right,
like flesh and blood, basically.
Yeah.
And they both play really amazing fucking grindcore gore type metal. Love it.
Anything?
Well, Fiona said Terrifier 3 trailer drops November 1st. It's a Christmas slasher movie.
That is right. And apparently Wednesday, which I guess we're going. I guess if you guys want us to go, we can go with you guys on Wednesday. If the spots are still open. But yeah, I can't wait for that. And I love the picture I saw that where Art's got the Santa beard and the beard's like a face like that you like peel off. It's really great artwork. Love that.
Art is a total icon.
Oh, he's blowing up.
He's pretty much like the Freddy of our generation, as far as I'm concerned.
And it really is quite amazing, like where his roots started. David Howard Thornton, just we've seen him at Days of the Dead.
Yeah, cool guy.
And just him and Damien Leone, just great guys.
And I forget who played Art in the All Hallows Eve. It wasn't.
It was a black actor. I don't remember though.
He was good as well. But Art is definitely skyrocketed, just like Sam.
Just he's way up there. So yeah. What else? What's the next band? Bandito. Francisco Bandito.
Well, you can't have Halloween Descent Nowhere Hell without a little Killjoy in your trick or treat basket. So I decided to go with Enoch. This is the band that he did with Mariah Sy, who's also Necro for a while. I really love this band. A really good horror movie music, like definitely a Goblin, Fabio Frizzi, John Carpenter type worship. If you're at all a fan of even like Midnight Syndicate and Nox Arcana, bands like that have like a really creepy fucking atmosphere, like a synth type stuff, you'll definitely dig Enoch. I believe it's probably hard to find these days. A lot of this stuff with Killjoy's out of print,
well,
unfortunately.
since Killjoy passed away, a lot of that.
And the prices have skyrocketed. Oh, this is on Baphomet Records, so yeah.
Some of that stuff's getting hard to find now.
But yeah, it is actually signed by him too. But let's have a quick drink for Killjoy, man. We do every year.
He's the master of horror for us. If you guys don't know, we did a tribute to him when he passed away in 2018.
Yeah.
And you guys can check out our channel and go look back for that. But the Killjoy as always.
Frank Killjoy Pucci.
And Ravenous is another one.
Absolutely.
So cheers.
Definitely a huge influence on us. But yeah, Enoch, check him out if you're at all a fan of synth horror. I think you'll really dig it.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Go what you got.
A fresh beer, that's what I got. This one's going to be a little bit different. So if any of you are fans of Acid Bath, so Dax Riggs, after Acid Bath broke up, he kind of did a couple like other projects. He really kind of wanted to slow down like his tempo of music, what he was doing.
Do a solo act.
So him and was it Max? Yeah, Mike. Sorry. And Mike Schmitz, the guitar player, started Agents of Oblivion in 1999, This is the one album they put out, self-titled Agents of Oblivion. Now this, if you've ever listened to Dax Riggs like sing,
Unbelievable.
it's like listening to Lane Staley sing. Like it is just, it harmonically just beautiful. Like he's got this sense of, like poetry, you know, how he reads.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, you know, Jim Morrison, like when he would, you know, sing some of those songs like Riders of the Storm and all that. Just had this beautiful poetry that came out. And Dax Riggs does that with this band. They're from New Orleans. Unfortunately, only did this band. Then he went on to do a bunch of other stuff. He did Dax and.
Yeah, I did a solo project.
But this one has all the demo tracks plus a bunch of other stuff that they did. This, like I said, came out in 2000. They had a couple other people on here. I don't know what they came from, but it's kind of cool. Agents of Oblivion came off the pagan terrorism.
Yeah.
It's off one of the poems that was on the record. So that's where that came from. But no, if you really kind of want to just sit back and really just relax and mellow out, Agents of Oblivion has got some really great lyrics. Kind of almost like typo feel. I mean, there's some heavy moments in it,
Yeah.
music-wise, but it's very melodic, and I think people that really just want to chill, definitely check out Agents of Oblivion. Great fucking record, man.
Dax Riggs for me personally is a huge influence when I used to sing or if I ever sang.
Yeah, and if you hear his voice, you will know it. Like, it's so distinguishable, and it's some guy, and unfortunately, he just does not get the recognition I think he deserves.
Yeah, I agree.
But
He's an absolutely amazing poet and singer. For sure.
yeah.
I don't have this. I was too lazy to. I forgot it out in my truck. I was too lazy to go get it before the show started. But
Son of a bitch.
band is called Night Hag. If you're all a fan of Death Doom, early Autopsy, like Mental Funeral style stuff, definitely Mortician, Necrophagia, so many bands. A little bit of even Incantation in there too, because there are a little bit of blast beat parts in there. But they have an album called Phantasmal Scourge. If you're all a fan of that type of music, I definitely would recommend it. They're probably one of the best doom death bands I've heard in a long time, and I'm a huge fan of bands like Moss and stuff like that. But definitely, if you're a fan of Autopsy and Necrophagia kind of mixing together, you'll definitely dig Night Hag's Phantasmal Scourge. In their cover that they have, I don't have it in front of me, sorry, but it is a homage to like Pumpkinhead, the old hag from the Pumpkinhead.
That was a creepy bitch in that movie too.
Yeah, they're a great band though. If you like the type of music, I highly would recommend the band Night Hag.
That's an easy one to remember.
Yeah.
All right, last one I have is, if you want to get more depressing, Forgotten Tomb.
Oh boy.
No, this could be considered. They've gone through a couple different phases. Now they're kind of considered more gothic metal, but this album came out in 2002 called Love's Burial Ground. And this one's more when they were like depressive black metal. They are from, if I can remember this. Yeah, where the fuck were they from? But I don't remember where they're from. But
On Earth somewhere.
from planet Earth. But Hair Morbid was basically a one-man band that started this after one of his other bands disbanded, and he just kind of had session musicians, and it was all just about death and depression and pretty much everything else. If you're into bands like Bethlehem, Shining,
yeah,
you're definitely gonna dig this band. I know a lot of people that really like them. I mean, if you're
Disaster.
if you're into that depressive black metal kind of stuff,
You'll love it.
like Mortification and not Mortification,
Definitely Zaster.
Yeah, you're gonna like these guys. Forgotten Tomb's a really great band. Even some of their newest stuff's really good. Like they still didn't forget like where their roots are.
I have that one album with that dude slit his wrist in the bathtub cover.
Their covers, let me tell you, are not the most PG. So, but yeah, definitely check out Forgotten Tomb. They do have quite a few records out there that I think you guys would enjoy. Again, I'd be in a good mood when you listen to it.
That's our Planets Collide episode.
So, anything?
Dave said, not as heavy as you guys like, but Stradivarius is a really underrated 80s Finnish power metal band with
I do
lots
remember
of
that.
Halloween theme songs.
I do remember that.
Check out songs like Fright Night and Witch Hunt.
Yeah, I agree. Stradivarius.
See, it's like a band, Witch Find.
Even Halloween.
Yep.
You could throw Halloween on there too.
Yep, a lot of those kind of bands that sing about
Grim Reaper.
Good old
That's another one.
Yeah.
Yep. 80s metal, the best, man.
Yeah.
Deb sent a couple of spooky emojis.
A couple of what?
Spooky emojis.
Those emoji.
You know, smiley faces, pumpkins, the beers you send all the time. Ever say cheers?
Oh.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Oh.
Woohoo! All right, let's get into. But yeah, like we said, if there's any questions you guys have, want to throw at us,
Yeah, sure.
comments, whatever. I mean,
Make our job easier.
yeah.
We like answering questions. Especially pertaining to horror and metal.
Shot.
Do a shot, yeah.
We can do a shot while we, talk with you guys. No, so anybody got any plans for Halloween? Anybody doing anything? I know trick-or-treating's on a Tuesday.
I have to work.
I didn't ask you. I know what you're doing.
That really sucks. So I'm gonna have to have a bowl out in front of my house, I guess.
A bowl of what?
A bowl of fuck.
Just have them have a...
So eat a bowl of fuck.
Eat a bowl of fuck. No, you can have them take a
Maybe a
hit.
demon's
Nope,
reference.
nope. He is...
Well, I'm Jason.
Oh, yeah, Jason.
I got Jason, motherfucker.
And, of course, the trick-or-treat glass. Have to have it.
Jason Voorhees.
So, this is for all our Halloween friends out there.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for tuning in.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Hope this shit's still good.
Happy Halloween. Oh yeah, it's definitely good.
Ooh,
I haven't had that in a while, man.
that's been fermenting for a while.
Oh yeah, it gets better with age, man.
That's-
It's like sex. Gets better with age, you know.
Not unless it's...
Actually, no. Come to think of it, no.
No, it doesn't get any better. Alright, what's up?
Death Church.
How about fine wine? Is that better? Okay, all right, we'll use that.
Death Church said, I
Death
get to
Church.
see Blair Witch in theaters on Halloween. Pretty stoked.
See? Now,
Right on.
that movie is kind of one of those that throughout the years gained that more of a cult following than it had, even though now you know the backstory of it and that it was real.
Let me tell you something. I remember
What?
when that fucking movie came out when I was a kid. And they had that documentary, Curse of the Blair Witch.
Yep.
And that aired on, like, I think the Sci-Fi Channel back when they were
A&E,
cool.
wasn't it?
I don't know. I think it was on Sci-Fi Channel back when they played cool
That's
shit.
possible.
But it came out before the movie came out, so there was a huge buzz, like, this is a true story, based on
Yep.
true story. And I took the bait like so many other people.
Well, we did. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like, and when I saw the film, like, yeah, dude, I like the Blair Witch. I always thought it was kind of like the movie Dark Throne would make if Nocturnal Culto and Fenders are running around with a fucking camera in the
Right.
woods. I like it. It's growing on me over
Because
the
then,
years.
then in the distance, you just hear Fenris going, oh, no.
And I love the score of this movie as well. The score is
I
great.
honestly don't even remember the music.
And
of
I
that.
think, well, it's not really a lot of music. It's a lot of
It's
just like
ambient.
really scary
Or
sounds and shit.
ambient shit. Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the part where they get to the house at the end. That's just.
I just remember my cousin. We watched that as a family film, and I remember my cousin counted how many times they said "fuck."
It's a nice family film.
It's like 100 and what is it? 100? It's obscene amount
Yeah,
of
they
times they
s-
said "fuck."
They say fuck a lot.
But of course, then you had Scary Movie make fun of it when, the whole crying scene. I mean, that
Don't forget
movie
the Bear
became
Wench
big.
Project.
Bear Wench.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Dave asked, best soundtrack on a horror movie. It's a good
Ooh.
transition.
That's a good one. That's a good. I'm gonna have to think about that one.
Okay, we'll get back to you. I mean, I do like Demons.
Well, here's
Demons
what
is
they
really
said.
good.
Wolfina said The Thing
As far as soundtracks.
soundtrack.
That's good.
That's a good
And
one.
Dave said 80s Trick or Treat.
See, and that's just it. Look who you got on there. I mean,
Fast Away, man.
Fast Way.
Fast Eddie,
Yep.
Clark, Motorhead.
I do like the soundtrack to Firestarter. That had Tangerine Dream,
Yeah.
and that was fucking phenomenal.
Man, that's a hard one.
But yeah, there's so many. Like I said, Demons is great.
Nightmare 3 with Doc and
Dream Warriors.
Yeah, your neighbor will fucking murder us if I do it.
So it's like there's so many out there, yeah. But anything Goblin does, those Italian ones are just phenomenal as well.
I'm sure
Suspiria.
I'm sure my choice will change. It always does, but just off the top of my head, it's a cross between Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer and The Fog, the original Fog. I don't know.
The Fog is good.
I love Suspiria. I love Deep Red. I like anything Goblin as well. But I don't know.
See,
that's a hard question.
and the favorite-
John Carpenter's Halloween.
And the
I like Halloween 2 soundtrack actually, where they have more of the synth and the organ shit with the main theme. That was really cool. Halloween 3 has a great soundtrack as well.
The one that we actually used in one of our old shows was Goblin from Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah. I remember. How could I forget?
And it's fantastic. The elevator scene, yeah, it's good. But Goblin can't go wrong really with Goblin. So,
No. Or Carpenter.
yeah, what we got?
Wolfina said Flesh for the Beast.
Good movie. Loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Carolyn Monroe's in that one. Yep, I like that one. Really good haunted house atmosphere. And when the demons come and just start tearing people apart, I fucking love that movie. It's got a good paranormal, like, investigator type feel to it as well. Love that movie. Mr. Stoker, I believe his name is.
Stoker.
Yeah, that was a good one. Now, that movie, a lot of people don't talk about that movie a lot.
All right, so now what are we throwing at him here? Just
Oh, wait, I got a question.
What's up?
Death Church says, favorite Fulci movie to watch on Halloween?
Gates of Hell.
we actually just watched one of our old episodes, and there was that kill scene with the brain drill through the head.
You can't fuck with Gates of Hell. The atmosphere in that movie.
Yeah.
When Dunwich.
I mean, the priest and shit,
yeah,
just the
House by the-
intestines barfing up the intestines.
Yeah,
You can't
House
fuck
by the
with
Cemetery is a close second too.
it. Yeah.
I would say zombie, but I mean it's more of a Cuban.
It's not a horror film. I mean, not a horror film. It's not a Halloween film per se.
Yeah, and I think you get more of a. Well, even like in City of the Living Dead, like that part where the corpses start rising after the priest hangs himself. Scene, you can see like there's autumn leaves on the ground and shit.
Yeah.
Fall leaves on the
And
ground.
you get the fog and everything.
Yeah.
It just adds. It's the
It's a really good
elements of it,
atmosphere.
for sure.
Gates of Hell.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. It's
He
just
said that's the correct choice.
Oh,
that's the only choice.
right on, brother.
So now, basically, we're going to kind of get into some movies, and we'll kind of sprinkle them in here. If you guys want to just keep asking questions, we'll talk about films here.
Absolutely, man. Let's have some fun.
Ask questions, so let the fun begin.
Shit, yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about a Stephen King adaptation that, as much as I saw this cover in the video store growing up, I never have seen this movie up until a couple days ago.
And I didn't see it till last night.
So... And this might be a shocker to some people, but
Shocker! Not the movie.
not the Wes Craven film. No, Thinner. I don't know if I've never seen anybody talk about this movie, and I know Stephen King adaptations can vary. Some are really good, some are
Really bad.
shit. Yeah, like Pet Sematary, Silver Bullet,
Which are all great.
Rose Red. I mean, there's some really good ones. But there's some that are kind of wishy-washy.
Langoliers.
Langoliers.
Which I do like, actually. Tommy
Yeah.
Knockers, I do like.
Tommy Knockers is good.
Yeah.
Then they did Dead Zone. But yeah, Thinner came out. This is from '96. And basically this is about a guy who is overweight. And
I would say.
to put lightly. And one night he's getting roadhead from his wife.
Literally.
And he ends up there's gypsies that kind of roll into town, and there's this old elderly gentleman, which you find out is like 106 years old, and he looks like he's 60.
Cancer on the nose.
But basically it was his daughter, right?
Yeah.
It was his daughter who looks like it would be his wife. She looks to be about 70. But it's his daughter, and she walks out of the the medicine shop, which Stephen King does his cameo as the pharmacist, which is hilarious.
Well, I can't really say.
It's fun. And if you know Stephen King, he loves to be cameos in his movies.
Yes.
Pet Cemetery, he was the pastor at the cemetery.
Oh yeah.
So, anyways,
Meteor shit.
Meteor shit.
That's a creep show.
So, anyways, he ends up hitting this old lady and kills her. And he kind of goes back to where the gypsies were when he's coming out of work, and the father ends up coming by, and he basically just hits him on the cheek and says thinner. And so the people, because it was at the courthouse, because him and the judge and the sheriff ended up kind of getting him off because he's a big time lawyer. And so basically there's a curse put upon all three of these guys for different reasons. And yeah, throughout the movie, he knows why, or he ends up finding out why he starts losing all this weight. He thinks it's his wife's diet that she put him on, but come to find out that his friends
loses like what, fucking 200 pounds and.
Oh, he's like 300. I mean, he's a big boy.
Yeah, he's huge.
And then he ends up starting to lose all this weight. Well, eventually he's gonna die, so he has to try to track down these gypsies, and then they're kind of at this power struggle on whether he's gonna save them or not.
Yeah.
And there's kind of this coming of age thing at the end when he's just sitting on a bench and he's like on the brink of death. And the father comes by and he brings this pie. And he's like, basically transfers his sickness into this pie. And he has to, in order for him to live, he has to have somebody else eat this pie. So basically eat his sickness.
Yeah.
And it's pretty fucked up. He gives it to his wife.
And it kind of backfires.
It does.
Let's just say. And that last scene kind of leaves it a bit open-ended, you know. It's like, I want to know what happens, you know, obviously his family's gone because they ate the mighty pie.
Yep, his daughter.
But I'd like to know what happens.
So, if you guys have never seen Thinner, I actually do suggest checking this out. It actually is a lot better than you think. It's not the gory stuff that maybe we talk about in the past, but it's a really well-made film.
Good character study.
Yeah, so definitely check out Thinner from Stephen. Oh, it's a Stephen King adaptation, directed by Tom Holland. Check it out.
Tom Holland also did Fright Night and Child's Play. Great movies.
So there you go.
So you know he knows horror. Mine, I got some 80s. Can't read, whatever, 80 something. You know what? If you know what, Night Beast. Night Beast is a badass creature feature.
Trauma Gold.
Yeah, it's a Trauma. Yeah, Trauma put it out, but also Vinegar Syndrome put it out too, I believe. But this is a great film. I was when I saw the cover of this movie, the looked like a giant turd. Does that not look like a giant?
He does look like a turd with teeth.
Giant brown turd.
He's a turd with teeth.
Turd with teeth. But he's got this ray gun, and they're trying to go after him with this ray. Or he goes after everybody with this ray gun and takes pretty much everybody out. And it's hard to compete against an alien with a ray gun. You know, you're gonna have a bad time.
You're gonna have a bad time.
It's a great movie.
It reminds me of Rawhead Rex in a way.
I mean, it's a creature feature.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Yeah, you could put this on with Rawhead Rex or
like a double feature would be great.
Yeah, or you know, even the Kindred or something like that. You know, it's a good creature, 80s creature feature.
I think Lugosi's dying out there.
Yeah, your dog's being a dick.
Okay, we're gonna have to. Well, we're not taking a $5, but Andrea's got to go. I think
inspect.
I think Lugosi, not this Lugosi, that Lugosi. I think he's having a connection.
You got him so spoiled now. So like he's always
not in here with us, man. What can I say?
Yeah.
But if he's in here, you'll see this curled tail walk back and forth. Yeah.
If you ever seen any of our past shows, you know Lugosi.
Yeah, Skid sat on him once.
When he was a puppy, yes. I felt horrible, man.
Yes, there is an episode of that.
Fucking yelped and shit. I felt horrible. But yeah, Night Beast is awesome.
What year is that? 80?
80 something, I can't read. It's like early 80s. We'll go with that.
Yeah, is anybody a fan of Trauma? I mean, Trauma's a hit and miss.
This is not a trauma movie, but they just put it. They distributed
releases, right?
Like Michael Hertz and Lloyd Kaufman put it out on the Trauma team release. It's not an actual trauma like
it's actually J.J. Abrams, really.
This is
No, it says on the front there, J.J. Abrams.
this is a music by J.J. Abrams.
That's cool because he did a lot of those New Age films too.
In this movie is directed by Don Dohler.
Don
Anybody knows who Don Dohler is? Fucking awesome director, horror, independent horror. But yeah, Night Beast.
All right. Let's see. What do we get? You know what? Just because it's the time, it's the season. We never got to talk about this movie, unfortunately. Terrifier 2. We knew this was coming up. This movie is, it's something else. So it obviously builds off the art character, and now he's kind of more in the public eye. Not just kind of up in his own little house and just goes out for a kill.
It's definitely supernatural.
Yeah, because if you remember the ending, we bitched about that because, well, how the fuck does this guy...
We even asked the director at Days of the Dead, like, so is he supernatural now? He's like, you'll just have to wait and see.
Because he literally blows his brains out at the end of the first one, and we're going, oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, Terrifier 2 came along, and we went, okay, and I was intrigued. Yep, see, look who showed up.
Hi.
Told you.
Happy Halloween.
See, told you. But, so Terrifier 2 obviously follows that. Now, there's this girl that shows up.
Taylor's like a fucking windmill, dude. It's like a saw. He's gonna, like, saw
It's
your
like
shit.
Corpse Grinder's hair. Ah, damn it.
See, like, yeah, like, oh shit, don't hit the camera.
Goose.
Get a little crazy here.
Sorry, I
folks.
guess we gotta pause. Yeah, we gotta pause for the dog.
Literally pause.
Yeah, hi.
What's your name?
Thank you. So yeah, this ends up building off the character in Miles County, and he ends up. This girl ends up. Well, I was gonna say there's all these commercials, so it reminds me of Nightmare on Elm Street when Freddy's on the game show and all that stuff. Like he became more of a cultural icon, and there's scenes in this where he's got the cereal. He's got the the food truck.
Yeah.
That's there. They're doing like the commercials and stuff like that.
Well, the whole burn scene.
The burn scene. Like there's a lot of cool stuff in there. And then, but the part that always gets me is when he's just hanging out in that costume shop.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And he puts the different glasses
You might
on.
have just let him in.
No, he's got to go. He's got to go lay down.
He's okay if
It's driving me nuts.
He is okay if he like calms down. He's just excited. It's
but-
Halloween and Descent into Royale. How can you not be excited, right?
Yeah. Well, but yeah. So if you guys want to, definitely as we talked about, this is actually going on a limited theater run coming up here on the 1st and 2nd of November. So Wednesday, Thursday this week. And there's going to be some posters that are coming out for that are exclusive to the showings. And then they're also going to give you a trailer, which David Howard Thornton actually came out before he knew about that it was coming out, of a Halloween basically movie where he kind of plays a cool Santa Claus character. So that's going to be badass to see. And I'm kind of anxious to see how they push him, with the girl now character added to that story. How are they going to progress this along? Because this was such a transition from the first to the second one.
I still like the first one more.
I do personally. I thought the kills were better in the first one. It had that more of
But in Terrifier 2, that kill we're talking about, that just unbelievable. Just
yeah.
Wow, dude.
In the bedroom with
that's
skinning
just,
her and all that.
And what he did with the mom.
Yeah.
What was it, like the mashed potatoes? It's like the mashed potatoes scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
there's some brutal fucking.
There's some brutal kills in this. There's more of a story to it. There's more of a there's more, like I said, characterization.
I like the characterization between the brother and the sister. Young Elliot. Oh, what's his name? I don't know. It's Elliot from the Metal Show. I know. I remember his name.
Yeah.
But the chemistry between the brother and the sister is cool. It's got a good family dynamic to it.
And then she's.
The first one was just basically a psycho in a warehouse terrifying two fucking really hot chicks on Halloween night,
Yeah.
And he shits in a fucking pizza place, you know.
Shit's all over the wall.
But this one has more of a...
And it has the whole story with her being kind of the archangel, like the good side of evil kind of thing. And it had that battle between them.
It gets out there at the end, man. It's like, there were times where it was like, really? They're going there? You know? I did like the film, though.
It adds a little bit of buff to it, so.
It was a great film, man. Terrifier 2. Looking forward to Terrifier 3 at some point.
What do we got?
Your top scream queen when you were growing up and now.
Ooh. Well, you know mine.
Yeah.
Now
growing up.
Growing up.
See, that's a difference.
Did we grow up?
Yes. Yes. Growing up would be Jamie Lee Curtis, because that's the only really one I knew. I mean, Elvira was... I knew who she was, but I don't consider her a scream queen, per se. I mean, she was kind of just a...
What is a stream queen? A stream queen? A scream... That's us. What's scream? A scream queen, like... I mean, is that...
Well, Leanna Quigley.
Well, yeah, I know, but like, can I say somebody like Amy Steele from Friday 2? I mean, she was only in one fucking movie, technically.
I mean... Yeah,
but I mean, she was definitely one of my favorites.
How do you categorize it? Is it somebody who's...
Then you have Brink Stevens, Linnea Quigley,
right.
Debbie Richan.
The list goes on. And it's,
people like that.
I mean,
for now, it's Tiffany Shepis for me.
And Jamie Lee Curtis would be, when I was growing up, would have been it because of the Halloween movies. I mean, that's what...
In The Fog, Terror Train.
The Fogger.
Frogger.
Frogger.
Prom Night.
Yeah. So... Yeah, I don't know.
For now, it's for now, it's Tiffany Shepis, for sure.
Well, that's because you got a crush on her.
Yes, I do.
All right, anything else? Comments, concerns?
Comments.
Thank you all for hanging out, guys. Appreciate it.
Yeah, we're coming up on an hour already. Holy moly. We like to keep everybody
made the long drive worth it, for sure. This asshole makes me travel now. I used to be able to go down the road to his house to do these fucking shows.
And that's my
Now I gotta
fault.
drive like fucking 30 miles.
And that's my fault.
Not 30 miles, 30 minutes.
He's bitching. What do you got? Nobody said anything or just comments?
Yeah.
We want to hear the comments.
Wolfina said, love Terrifier 2. The nightmare scenes are great.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Clown Cafe song is awesome.
That's the one, yeah, those like commercials. Oh my god, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, good stuff.
That was funny.
Or I'll do my next movie.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. I don't know if anyone's ever seen this. It's called Taxi Hunter. If any hardcore horror fans know Anthony Wong of a movie called he did several, but specifically
Pacifically? Well, you said
the
it.
untold story in Ebola syndrome. This is some of the horror category 3
Under
type.
Films just released Ebola Syndrome not
Yes.
that long ago. So.
Shout out to Steven, I doubt you're watching. But yes, Taxi Hunter is great. Category 3 type film. Category 3 films, if you don't know, was a Hong Kong film distribution company that released some really hardcore shit. Like, bottom line, like, exploitation / porn / extreme gore shit, you know. Like,
Everything.
crazy shit. And Taxi Hunter fits in really well. Anthony Wong plays this really sympathetic character who loves his wife, and his wife is pregnant, she's expecting, and just a really horrible tragedy happens with this taxi driver who... What a fucking dick, man. He, like... Oh, fuck, how did it go? Like, she got caught inside the fucking taxi somehow, like in the fucking door, and he takes off down the road, and she's like, it's funny, honestly, but it's horrible at the same time. So she's like hanging on the taxi, and then pretty much gets trampled, and the baby dies, and this guy, the Anthony Wong character, just goes completely fucking bonkers, and he fucking hates every single taxi driver, and he has pretty much out a season for everyone. He wants to kill every fucking taxi driver in this city, and it just gets crazy. He finally finds the asshole that actually did the deed to his wife, an unborn child, and as brutal as he is in the film, you really sympathize with him, because I mean, what would you do if your wife and unborn child died so horribly? You know, you would want to hunt down the piece of shit that did it, right? So you kind of sympathize with him as well at the same time as, wow, he's really being brutal. So, because some of these taxi drivers don't even deserve it.
No.
He's kind of like a vigilante justice. If Charlie Bronson went on a taxi hunter fucking rant.
I'm surprised he hasn't yet.
But yeah, if you ever seen Taxi Hunter, man, I would highly recommend if you're a fan of really extreme Category 3 type films, definitely Hong Kong type films, and Anthony Wong, man. If you know him, hail.
See, no, that's an interesting one because
Yeah, dude, Anthony Wong. Did you ever see The Untold Story?
yes, I saw it once.
Did you ever see Ebola Syndrome?
No,
Yeah,
not seen that one
Yeah,
yet.
those are some crazy Category 3 films that he was in.
That is one I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna get into a made-for-TV movie from ABC, 1973. And no, that's not.
Hey, that rhymes.
And no, it's not my dope rhymes right there.
I've had a couple of those in the past.
Hey yo, no. So this
What was that?
Scott Hall. I just need a toothpick to go. Hey yo. All right.
Rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Satan's School for Girls.
Yes.
Yes. So this is a made-for-TV film that came out in 1973.
Oh yeah.
Starred Lloyd Bachner and Jackie Smith, Katie Jackson. Basically, so obviously made for TV, so you know it's got no nudity, all that kind of fun stuff. Because you got to think 70s films was riddled with it.
Yeah. Crowhaven Farm. Stuff
So
like that.
basically, this movie is about a woman who, in the beginning, she's like running away from something, but we don't know what. And she's going to her sister's house. She ends up hanging herself, and her
Martha
sister,
Sayers.
Martha Sayers.
Yeah.
And her sister finds her, and she goes to the authorities, and they kind of just deem it as a suicide.
Yeah.
And they're not going to do anything about it, but she has suspicion, like, because her sister was just always a good-natured person. Like, why would she do this?
Never had like suicidal tendencies.
So her sister was at this school and took some classes. It was like an all-girls school. And she went down there, basically enrolled, not saying that she was her sister, to try to get information. And it basically just starts with that. And
She makes pretty good friends with everybody in the
and
story.
she meets different you meet different teachers and stuff like
Professor
that.
Delacroix, that freaking creepy motherfucker.
Yeah, there's like an art teacher, and there's a guy who's doing like lab rat type shit.
Yeah,
like
Professor
in
Delacroix.
psychology class.
Rats
So
in the
basically,
maze.
it's like an hour long. So really, it is made for TV. So it's kind of rushed through in a way because it is only an hour. But basically, it kind of culminates into this art teacher who they find out is actually Satan. Well, Satan. And he needs 8 girls to be part of this cult that is going on in this 300-year-old school. And you got this head mistress.
She's quite a character.
Yeah, she basically was just kind of like
Mrs. Abigail.
She was basically brainwashed.
Yeah.
To basically do the bidding and just kind of keep things rolling because he needed that 8th girl, which would have been what was her name?
Sayers something.
Sayers, yeah, or Kate Jackson's character. So she ends up kind of following this, and she lights the whole place on fire, and
Yeah, literally.
and
That scene where the devil goes back in the house.
yeah,
And you hear all the screaming of
and
his
then
followers.
and then at the end, you see him like standing out there smoking a cigarette, and then all of a sudden he
Yeah.
vanishes, and then there's like the burnt out area in the grass.
And the
Like,
credits start rolling. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa.
it is really it is a good movie.
My favorite scene is in the water where they're like poking.
When they're poking him with the sticks,
Yeah,
like
that's-
from
that-
all over, they end up drowning
Yeah,
him.
that's
and
my
then he ends
favorite.
up in her car, and she opens it up, and he's just like, he
Pretty
flies.
good acting from some of the actresses in that movie too.
Oh yeah,
You
It's
can
really
find that movie on
believable.
a lot of like 50 like set bargain bin type shit, but it's actually a really good movie.
Yeah, so definitely check
And that
out.
cover screams at War with Satan from Venom.
I was gonna say, if you guys know the Venom cover at War with Satan, that's the exact,
Yeah.
pretty much cover. It's just different.
I saw him like, whoa, dude, it's Venom.
So definitely check. If you guys, it's easy to find. This isn't like some $100 movie. I mean, you could find it for $10.
You can usually find it on a double bill with Don't Go in the Basement
Yeah.
and Kathy's Curse, stuff like that.
Yeah, so definitely check that one out from 1973, made-for-TV movie. And don't shit on made-for-TV movies.
No.
We talked about Bad Ronald a while
Yeah.
back, and that's another one that is really good.
Crowhaven Farm,
Yeah, so made-for-TV movies
Let's Scare Jessica to Death.
are definitely worth a watch.
In fact, some of those, don't be afraid of the dark too. I mean, like some of those made-for-TV movies are just unbelievably amazing. Like Salem's Lot even was a made-for-TV movie.
The original It was.
Yeah, like exactly. Don't
Don't
don't ever pass on those because you can really. They may not have the gory goodness and shit,
and
but they have a really good story and characterization.
Yep. So definitely seek older made for TV movies. Maybe not the Lifetime ones, but
Absolutely.
unless you want to.
Silver Bullet, one of my absolute favorite werewolf movies ever. Me and Gould did a werewolf show a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. If you remember that, and I kind of talked a little bit about this one. Stellar cast: Gary Busey as drunken Uncle Red. Corey Haim, rest in peace, is a handicapped child in a wheelchair. The chemistry between him and his sister starts out a bit rocky, but they end up getting a lot closer as brother and sister, and they start trying to figure out what is going on in this town. I forget the name of the town offhand. Sorry, Tucker's Mill. Yeah, but. Brutal murders are happening all over the town, and it's just a really small town, a knit community. Everybody knows each other. Nobody locks their doors, so it's kind of like the town of dreaded sundown. Because like when these murders happen, like everyone's like buying guns and bolting their fucking doors and shit. It's a whole new thing for Tucker's Mill. And Terry O'Quinn, who you know from The Stepfather, plays the sheriff in this movie, and he does a really good job as that. And you really care for a lot of the characters in this movie, even when they die. Like even that annoying guy flying the kid flying the kite, you didn't want him to get ripped apart.
Yeah.
And his father to find him, Reverend, he was torn apart. I mean, you didn't want that.
But it happened.
But it's a great movie. Gary Busey is drunken best.
Yeah.
His jackass joke. Let's see if I can remember this real quick. Guy sitting in a bar. Asks the bartender, "Hey jackass, pour me another drink." So the bartender pours him a drink. He says, "Jackass, pour me another drink." The guy next to him says, "How come you let him call you jackass all the time?" "Oh, he always calls me that." I remembered it. Yes, I love that fucking joke. But Silver Bullet is great. The deranged Reverend at the end, Reverend Lowe, trying to get Corey at the end, or Marty at the end. Sorry.
Marty.
Really great acting on his part. He really, you kind of sympathize with him too because he did not want this werewolf curse, and it never explains how he became a werewolf to begin with either. It just kind of happened, and he's when you're a werewolf you got no choice but to kill, satisfy your bloodlust. But the last scene, this is actually a good Halloween watch as well because the last scene of the movie takes place on Halloween night when Reverend Lowe, the werewolf, comes for everybody. And I just think it's a really underrated film, and I really want to upgrade this because it's got a really good Blu-ray release. But this is old school fucking DVD.
Remember
but
those?
But still, it's a really great film. You could probably find it on streaming, I imagine. But Silver Bullet, Stephen King, also based on Psycho the Werewolf story.
Psycho the Werewolf, yeah. All right, anything?
Yep. Wolfina said Tokyo Gore Police is fun gore fest.
That's another one.
Yes.
Frankenstein Girl versus Dracula Girl.
Machine Girl.
That's another one.
All those.
Yeah, any of those like Tokyo splatter films.
Whoever said that, I would recommend a movie to you called Ebola Syndrome. I think you would really dig that if you're a fan of Tokyo Gore Police and like crazy fucked up shit like that.
Stuff.
Yeah, over the top gore type shit.
Yep.
Shit flying at you everywhere. I would recommend you Ebola Syndrome.
Yeah.
Check that out.
Dave asks, is there anything in gore or horror films that just makes you cringe or is too hard to watch or too brutal? He said, I have issues with animal brutality.
Yes, I do too.
I do to an extent. I remember we were watching, what was that? Was it Faces of Death? And yeah, when I skip over any time they're dealing with skinning rabbits and stuff, and
even like necromantic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just there's certain things where even if it's done really well, it's kind of like I don't want to watch it. Animals, is one of them. Yeah. One, depending on what it is, and depending on how it's done, is teeth. And the only reason I say it's how it's because it's done. Because I've seen people that they grab a tooth and it's just kind of like they don't show anything. But when you get those like with the sound effects that are like over
Last
the
House
top,
on the Left.
oh my god!
Sit still.
Yeah,
And
you just hear that tapping of the teeth. It's
Yeah.
like I can't do that. That's disgusting.
I'm kind of on the same lines as well. Animal cruelty, I'm not a fan of at all, as I'm a huge animal lover. The monkey getting his brains eaten in Cannibal Holocaust. That one kind of got me because you can hear it. Oh, maybe it was Cannibal Ferox.
Well, Cannibal Holocaust was the tortoise when they actually.
That one
filmed
didn't really bother me, but the monkey, is that Cannibal Ferox? I think that's
where it's like
Dice.
screaming. And,
Yeah, that one you can hear it screaming. That one's kind of
Yeah.
that one's kind of bad.
Yeah.
The only thing that gets me,
Eyeballs.
yeah,
Like bouquet of guts and gore when they like really get up close and they slice the eyeball.
I think
Love that.
I think what gets me, I mean, when Gage dies in Pet Cemetery,
He gets hit by the truck.
I mean, I have family members who are at that age, you know, that kind of gets me. Also, anybody ever seen a movie called The Girl Next Door? It's based on a Jack Ketchum novel.
Oh god. Yeah.
Sylvia Lakens, it's such a real case. So the part where she blowtorches her vagina at the end, that always gets me. Because she's actually a really nice girl and you really care for her. And she's just tortured by these fucking horrible people. That one kind of gets me. That's not a feel-good movie at all, Girl Next Door.
The whole book isn't.
No, the book is even better.
That's depressing.
The book is better. Jack Ketchum, rest in peace.
All right. Okay.
Top 5 werewolf films.
Oh god.
Oh, man. Okay.
Well, I mean, this could go for a lot of different ways. It could go for like the howling, transformation scenes.
I'm going to grab a beer real quick.
Grab me one.
Okay. Andrew, do you want some?
No, I'm good.
I mean, yeah, like I said, the howling, American Werewolf in London. Oh god, Skids is gonna die.
I just hate your werewolf.
Literally, he ate the werewolf. I know for like creature effects, a film called Bone Hill Road. Now the acting's not the greatest thing in the world, but the costumes they used in that film were done really well. It's a Todd Sheets film, really good. Trying to think other werewolf films. I mean, obviously Wolfman's a classic. The original Wolfman, not the Anthony Hopkins one, which is actually a good movie in itself. I'm trying to think what other werewolf movies. I mean, we talked about Silver Bullet already.
Dave put Silver Bullet, Dog Soldiers,
Dog
Ginger
Soldiers is good.
Snaps.
If you've never seen one, look for a one called Late Phases.
Sorry.
Late Phases is another really good one. That was Dark Sky Films.
Go, brother.
You think Late Phases?
Late Phases was great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you, what ones were yours?
I said Bone Hill Road just because of the costumes.
Yeah, Bone Hill Road was great.
I said, Silver Bullet we talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Late Phases, he said, Dave said Dog Soldiers, which obviously is another really good
dude,
one.
yeah. Dog Soldiers, badass.
Let's see what else.
Same dude that did The Descent.
Yep. Let's see what else. I said the original Wolfman. Even the new one was actually really well done, even though it was a CG. Fest, but
I will say, Wolfman, Lon Chaney Jr., 41. The Howling, obviously.
Yep. American Werewolf in London.
What do I get? 5? Okay, that's 2. Silver Bullet, obviously. I love Silver Bullet.
We just talked about it.
Do I need to Gary Busey joke again? Okay.
No.
We good? We good?
Just
okay.
once.
Okay, we good.
I mean, you gotta think about them there.
I like Sheepskin. That was a good one.
I've never seen that one.
It's an unearthed film.
Yeah. I remember they put it out. I never got to see it.
I'm gonna say Werewolf of London for 35. I like Henry Hall in that. I like it. They call him the Elvis werewolf, pretty much because he's got the fucking Elvis.
Wolf Cop is another fun one.
Wolf Cop's fun.
Wolf Cop is fun.
My last one would probably be. I'd probably have to say American Werewolf in London. I mean, it's just a classic. You get the classic effects by Rick Baker, Monster Maker. I just can't beat it. But Rob Bottin in the Howling is just as good too.
One that I would actually say.
Wolfen is good too.
Wolfen is good, but
it's not really a werewolf movie per se. It's more of just a wolf movie.
Yeah,
like a wolf cult.
Bubba the Redneck Werewolf which is kind of a comedy, but it was actually written by Stephen Byro from Unearthed Films, which is really cool.
Yep.
And that's actually kind of basically a guy trades his soul into.
Did you say Late Phases?
I did say Late Phases.
Yeah, Late Phases was a really good one.
Dark Sky Films put that one out. So yeah, I mean, Bubba the Redneck Werewolf, all that kind of shit.
There's
Wolf
so
Cop,
many.
like, I mean, there's so many.
Frankenstein meets the Wolfman. Oh, Paul Naschy shit.
Oh my God.
Curse of the Werewolf.
Curse of the Werewolf.
Spanish
Yep.
or Curse of the Devil.
Yep.
Sorry, Curse of the Werewolf is a good Hammer film.
Yep.
Yes,
We
but
forgot the Hammer films.
with Oliver Reed. But
Yeah.
Paul Naschy, man, you can't fucking. When it comes to werewolf, you cannot mention Waldemar
Paul
Daninsky, aka Paul Naschy. Like,
Yep.
the guy was just made for that role.
Curse
He
of the
was-
Werewolf is so good.
Curse of the Devil.
Or Curse of the Devil, yeah.
Curse of the Devil.
Oh shit! What was the one? What's the
Frankenstein.
What's the one with Peter Cushing?
Werewolf versus Frankenstein.
What's the one with Peter Cushing?
Shit. Yes. I know.
Yeah,
I have it too.
Yeah.
It's on the tip of my tongue,
Yeah,
dude.
there's a fuck.
That's a good one too.
Yeah,
damn.
there's a Hammer film with Peter Cushing who.
No, it's not a Hammer movie. It's close to it.
Oh, it's not a Hammer
I'm
film.
trying to figure out the hell it is.
I
I know. I can see the cover right
Yep.
now.
Okay. Well, anyways, it'll
That's
probably
a good
come
one.
to us eventually.
There's so many. Keep those questions coming as they make our job a lot easier.
Yeah.
And we'll stick around a little longer
Got
too.
any more comments, concerns? All right.
Complaints.
Well, it's, your turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this is a newer movie, brand spanking new. I wanted to see this movie in the theater actually, but
Did it come around here?
I don't know if it came around. I don't know. But The Last Voyage of the Demeter. Actually, really enjoyed this one. If you read Bram
Strokers.
do that all the time. Not a porn. God damn it.
Bram Stoker.
Bram Stoker. His novel Dracula from 1897. You'll know the story of the Demeter in that book. And to me, when I read that novel, yes, I did read the novel. I can read. I love reading, actually. Opens your mind. But the story of the Demeter in that movie, I always wanted more of it. And I always thought, that would actually make a really cool screenplay if they explained how Dracula killed everyone on the ship when it went to Whitby.
Well, like Nosferatu, look at that. I mean, that shows, well, kind of. how
Yeah,
it was transported
and I
anyways.
think Nosferatu in 1922 did the best job of that depiction when they were on the Demeter. I think that was probably the best one because the Lugosi film, it's just kind of
He shows up.
he just kind of shows up and that's it, and then you see the captain tied to the wheel when they get to port and that's it. But Werner Herzog with Claudius Kinski, Nosferatu the Vampire, that one does a good job as well on the ship.
Was it 79? 79?
Yes, 79. Bram Stoker's Dracula also did a pretty good job of it. Francis Ford Coppola movie. But The Last Voyage of Demeter, if you ever wanted to see a movie just dedicated to that scene in the novel, I highly would recommend this. And if you're a fan of vampires that stink of the grave and look really nasty, like Nosferatu, Claudius Kinski, Reggie Nadler of Salem's Lot, you're really gonna dig this because he looks a lot
Pushing werewolf movie.
like a creepy ass vampire the way they're supposed to look. And it's good gore, really good characterization. The little kid is actually not annoying you. You actually champion him. He actually tries to take charge of the situation. Does not have a happy ending if you know the book, if you read the book.
Yeah.
The story of the Demeter does not end well. But it's a great film, and I would highly recommend it. Really great atmosphere, really well shot. Practical effects mixed with CGI the right way. Doesn't just dwell on CGI, it does have practical effects in it. And Last Voyage of the Demeter. Cool. You definitely should check this one out.
It's a new one on me.
Yeah.
That's only because it just came out.
Yeah, like I
recently,
said, I really wanted to see it in the theater, but I missed out on it. But it's a really good movie. Last Voyage of the Demeter.
The Beast Must Die.
The Beast Must Die.
No, that's not it. That's
No,
an
no.
Amicus movie.
I was gonna say no.
No, The Beast Must Die is a great movie though.
No.
The one we're thinking of is
The Legend of the Werewolf?
Legend of the Werewolf.
That's it.
Thank you. Who said that?
I did.
Oh, thank you.
I have the interglobal VHS of that. That's the only one I kept thinking of.
But
okay.
The Beast Must Die is a great fucking Amicus movie.
Yes.
I absolutely love it. You don't even see the werewolf. It's just like a wolf running around, pretty much.
Or you could watch the short horror film that we made for a Halloween episode a couple years ago, our werewolf movie.
Yeah.
What
was it called?
Something of Manitou.
The Legend of Manitou?
The Legend of the Legend of Manitou.
Something like that.
That was our fucking version. That was hilarious.
Check that out if you're bored.
All right. On to the next. We are at from 19. What did I say this was?
Oh, it's
What movie is that? What year is that from?
I think it's like 72, isn't it?
That late?
I think it's like 70s or something. Maybe it's 80s.
Scalps. That's all you need to know. I think. So, anyways, Scalps is a movie based off of Native American tradition. Basically, this group of kids goes out to the desert to go.
83.
83.
I knew it was 80s, yep.
You said 70s. Shut up.
I
You were
said
10
70s, 80s.
You said 72. You were 11 years off.
You were employed 3 weeks ago.
Well, that's actually better because I didn't know it all. Anyways, so this movie basically follows these kids that go out to the desert to dig up artifacts and things like that. And this one chick brings these like sticks that she clanks together, and she's telling the guy that, oh, this is what the Native Americans used to do to, call to the gods.
Yeah.
And when they're coming into town, they stop at a service station. There's this old Indian guy that's like sleeping on one of the stoops as they go into the store, and he comes in and he forewarns them, about this bloody battle that happened like 100 years ago. And there's a lot of death and bloodshed and things like that, and warns them, don't go digging around this kind of area. Well, guess what? They didn't listen.
Stupid
They
kids.
shocker. And throughout the movie, you kind of get these images that just kind of pop up of the Native Americans, like the death, the monsters or demons, whatever you want to call them, and they kind of show up in just the weirdest ways.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like premonitions in a way. So they end up finding all these artifacts near an area of the Black Trees, which is where the man told them not to go. And things start happening. One of the guys gets possessed through this fire that puts off no heat. It's just this area after him and his woman doink on a rock. They find this like TP and this fire, and it blows up in his face, and he ends up getting possessed basically by these spirits.
Yep.
And he kind of starts taking everybody out one by scalping them.
Literally.
And what's fucking hilarious is there is a guy in here that if you crossed, what's his name? If you crossed Hyde from that 70s show and Napoleon Dynamite, you get this guy. It is funny as hell. But yeah, everybody kind of dies these like very morbid ways. And it's all done by this demon. And it really is a good movie, but you can actually tell this movie was cut and banned in a lot of different areas. Because you can tell when you got these added scenes where they always get these director's cuts of lost footage, how it's darker than everything else and it's during all the kill scenes.
Yep.
Because just the violence alone of this chick getting scalped and her hair pulled back.
Is that a video nasty? It might have been on the list, maybe.
I think it was made that second list.
Scopes, yeah.
But no, what's kind of cool on this is it actually, years later, so DJ is the girl who kind of ends up being the encompassed killer at the end. And there's a Scalps 2 that came out years and years later. It was called The Return of DJ. It was a fan film. It's like a 25-minute film.
Horrible film.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then they also did an unauthorized remake called Blood Desert.
Which I've never seen.
And that's also on this Blu-ray.
I
didn't get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
But
I will.
But no, it's actually a lot of fun though.
Anybody knows who Fred Olin Ray, the director, is? He did Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, Haunting, Fear, Ricky Stevens.
Yep.
He's a fucking cool guy.
But now, this is one hell of a tagline. Rarely since the Texas Chainsaw Massacre has a film evoked such deep emotions in the viewer. I don't know if I believe that. I mean, I don't know if this really stacks that well up for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but it is a selling point, let me tell you. Banned in 89 countries kind of thing. Like.
Oh, we got to do the cameo by Forrest J. Ackerman.
Yep, he does do that in here.
He's carrying like a monster book. You know, that stuff's going to rot your brain. Yeah, I know.
But definitely check out Scalps from 1983. It's kind of one of those lost gems that, you know what, it's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's not the worst. It is kind of fun.
It is a fun film. I enjoyed it.
So, definitely check
when you said you were going to do that one, I'm like, wow, I never thought you... Scalps, really?
Yeah, nobody talks about it.
Fred Olin Ray, man, fuck yeah. My last movie I got, that was one of my favorite movies of all time, and definitely gets you in the Halloween spirit as well, so it could go both ways, but... Pumpkinhead, 1988.
Lance Hendrickson.
Yeah, and he plays Ed Harley, and it's just such a...
It's a sad story.
It's such a heartbreaking performance, because this guy, you don't know much about his past, but his wife is dead, obviously, and he's just raising his son at this store. He runs this country store in the middle of nowhere, sells products and shit. And these city folk come around on their they're on like a biking type adventure or some shit, their motorcycles and stuff. But unfortunately, there's a horrible accident where they run down Ed Harley's son, and it's such a heartbreaking, tear-rattling scene, man, because he's such a nice, beautiful boy, and that's all that Ed Harley has to live for. That's the last thing in his life, other than the store that he's running, to live for, and he's basically this taken from him. So it doesn't end very well. Obviously he's pissed off about that, and these fucking assholes who killed him basically tuck their tail and run. The guy that killed him. Because he's got like a police record or something, and he's been drinking also, so he'd be fucking canned. But his brother stays behind to be with the boy. But Ed Harley, oh man, Ed Harley, if looks could kill, when Lance gives him that look, that look, creepy, man.
No,
sort of. He's got to work on it, but
yeah, not quite that.
Yes.
I'm not Lance Hendrickson.
No, you are not. But
plus, I don't have that deep emotion.
He's such a great actor. I loved him in Aliens as well. Like he's just amazing. He's a good in Terminator. He's good in everything I see him in. But don't start. But
sorry.
Lost my train of thought.
Son of a bitch.
Lost my train of thought now. So basically, he wants revenge in the worst way for the death of his son, and there's this legend of a demon you can summon named Pumpkinhead, and he's buried behind a pumpkin patch graveyard, which is near this really creepy fucking witch's house who's like kind of...
Oh, she's terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I forget her name. Her name is Mrs. Ossie in the second one, Blood Wings, but I don't think she has a name in this one. So, I don't know. We'll go with that. But she's just really creepy. And obviously, Lance wants revenge in the worst way possible. He wants to summon this demon to take care of the perpetrators that killed his beautiful son. And shit just goes crazy.
Poor beautiful egg boy.
Because when he comes back, when Pumpkinhead is summoned, with the spirit, with Ed Harley in it as well,
and what a creature effect that is.
Yes,
I mean,
Stan Winston, the late great Stan Winston.
Oh,
we love him
man.
here on the Centennial. We talked about him so much in the past. We just champion his work. Great, he was a great director as well. Very underrated director. He directed this as well as doing the special effects. He was a busy guy, fucking.
Yeah, right.
But such a great film, such a heartbreaking film, a creepy film. The creature Pumpkinhead is just one of those iconic.
Oh yeah.
Creatures, like late night creatures, man. Like
it's kind of like best. I always think of him in like Jeepers Creepers. Like those kind of monsters they're in their own realm.
Yeah,
I'm not saying they're the same, but like the type of creature that they are, they're almost like they're like that mythical legend that or the folklore you always
Right.
hear about, you know, like Loch Ness or something like.
And if
That's
you
kinda what
and
they
if you know
are.
anything about Stan Winston, he obviously went on to do great things like Jurassic Park and Terminator 2,
Wow.
Judgment Day, Aliens.
Mhm.
Guy was just an amazing pioneer in his day, and definitely much respect to him. But Pumpkinhead, never. I'm pretty sure everyone has seen Pumpkinhead.
And
That's
if you
watching this.
haven't,
If you haven't, though, I really do envy you that you haven't seen this, because I would love to see this movie through your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to
First
see.
time.
Yeah, I would love to revisit this, because I saw this on VHS years ago. There was a show on the Discovery Channel called Movie Magic. And that's how I first discovered this, because they were talking about Jurassic, or that wasn't even out. They were talking about Stan Winston and his creature effects, and Pumpkinhead was brought up, and I was like, wow, that's fucking cool. So I actually called the video store, TNR Video. Do you have Pumpkinhead? And the guy on the other lens acts like I'm a total fucking idiot. He doesn't know what the hell I'm talking about. So I actually go to the video store and I see it. And obviously this movie's rated R, so I did my good old sister to rent it for me. Thank you, Sarah. But took it home, watched it. Man, blew my mind. I love Pumpkinhead, one of my favorites. That's all I got.
What we got?
Any questions?
Dave said one of the best creatures.
Which
Yes.
one? Pumpkinhead?
Yes, absolutely. So
Very iconic.
very iconic.
Death Church said he had to get going. He works in the morning. Have a good stream and happy Halloween.
I know
Cheers,
the
man.
feeling, brother. Happy Halloween, man.
Happy
Thank you.
Halloween and Joy. Thank you for tuning in. I got
Yes.
one more for you. This is a film from 1962. We're going back a ways. Now, this is finally a Hammer film. I got this right. Night Creatures.
Oh yeah.
This stars Peter Cushing. Oh dear. So basically, this is about an 18th century like Navy captain who
Captain Clegg.
basically finds like a mutiny of this one guy who they end up kind of condemning aboard the ship, cutting his tongue out, and I think cutting his ears off. Correct.
I think they tried. Yeah.
And they basically put him on a deserted island, tied him to a tree, and left him for dead. And it fast forwards years and years later, and then there's these militias that are going, and they come into this town, and this Reverend Dr. Bliss, played by Peter Cushing, is kind of the minister of the church, stuff like that.
I like when he starts making everybody sing more. Like, I want to hear more.
Let's do this again. Sing louder.
He says it like 2
More
times.
feeling.
More feeling, yeah.
So
Happy for your crops.
and of course, this stars Oliver Reed. As
Yeah.
we know, we talked about Curse of the Werewolf before.
Yep.
A very young Oliver Reed, by the way.
Oh yeah.
And also Yvonne Romaine from Circus of Horrors with Christopher Lee. He was in Circus? Oh, no, Circus of Fear. I'm thinking Circus of Fear.
Yeah, he was
Sorry.
in Circus of Fear. Yeah.
Not Circus of Horror. Different.
Yeah.
They're all circuses. But anyways, so this militia comes over because they accuse them of basically transporting whiskey. Or
Wine,
alcohol,
whiskey,
yeah,
yeah,
alcohol.
kinds of shit.
Which is great because
Smuggling.
they smuggle it through caskets, which is great.
Yeah, they probably did that back in the day.
I believe it. So they had all these underground tunnels and stuff. Well, basically, this general's trying to figure out what's going on, and there's this story that they tell him about these ghost riders, basically in the marsh. And they come out in the beginning scene. There's this one guy, and they kind of tell the story. And there's horses with like the skeleton blankets or whatever over them, where they kind of glow, and they got the skeleton mask. It always kind of reminded me of Psychomania, like the guys when they dressed up with the masks and stuff. It's kind of what it reminded me of.
Definitely.
And they're kind of in the marsh, and they basically terrorize and scare this guy to death.
The Marsh Phantoms.
Yeah.
That's what they're called.
And that's kind of the story that he tells them and it basically he tells them that story to kind of get them off their trail as they try to transport, because that's their only income of money. And there's kind of, there's this, the Hammer love story between Oliver Reed and Yvonne. There's this kind of
She's
tension
hot
going.
too.
She is.
She's really hot.
Um,
Hammer babe for sure.
and then you end up finding, I'm not going to give this one away because there is kind of a twist ending, something you probably would get, but the riders you end up finding it is the village people, not those village people. Not those village people. They're not.
I hope not.
They're not doing the YMCA. Don't worry. But then you end up finding out there's a bigger twist about who Dr. Bliss actually is.
Yep.
Which I'm not going to give away.
Don't forget the Scarecrow. Oliver Reed and the Scarecrow.
Oliver Reed is a Scarecrow. He gets shot in the arm.
Yep.
Is there
anything wrong with your arm?
Which, how the hell, from that far away at that mill, he shot him with a gun back in
What
the
I want to
17th
know is how the
century?
hell did he get in the Scarecrow suit and
get
out of
out.
it and get the hell back into the village to have some wine?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
That's a whole thing.
Yeah, I want to
But
know.
no, Night Creatures is definitely a fun film. It's a great Hammer film, and if you know us, we're big purveyors. We love Hammer movies.
Yes.
And this is one that does not get talked about enough.
No, it doesn't. Kind of fell through the cracks.
Yeah.
Kind of like Curse from the Blood from the Mummy's Tomb or something. You know?
Yeah. So definitely check this one out.
Yeah. Amazing atmosphere in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Amazing atmosphere.
Like when they're in the marshes and stuff in the fog, and just how that's so well done with the skeleton horses and stuff.
One thing I'll say about Night Creatures is Peter Cushing, that was a point in his career where he wanted to kind of get out of the horror genre and do other roles and show his diverse vehicles of acting, you know what I mean? So he would do like more Hamlet and Shakespeare and Pirates, Buccaneers, stuff like that.
Yep.
And Night Creatures kind of came from that because he plays Captain Clegg, which is his pirate, you know. And even though it is technically a horror film, it is more of a slashbuckler type movie with pirates.
But what
He wanted to really do more roles.
What I found funny is how the I can't remember his name. The guy that got his tongue cut out.
Oh, the
how,
Tor Johnson guy?
Yeah.
The big fat Tor Johnson guy? Yeah.
Like how he lifted that entire stone.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I gotta say this. That part where that fucking big Tor Johnson guy you're talking about takes on Peter Cushing. Did you see that backflip Peter Cushing did, dude?
Oh, yeah.
It's like fucking WWF style shit, dude.
It's
Like,
funny.
you're telling me that little Peter Cushing could pick up this big Tor Johnson guy and body slam him? That's a bit far-fetched.
Oh dear.
Yeah, it's a great film.
Definitely check out Night Creatures.
If you're at all a fan of atmosphere, you'll love Night Creatures.
All right, so what do we got?
There you go. Those are our 5 films we wanted to throw at you. And now we'll open it up to questions.
If you could pick one movie to have a remake made of, what would it be?
Ooh.
It's a good one. So many have been made.
See, the problem... Well, okay, think about it. There's so many movies that if they would have done a remake within 5 years that it came out, not 25 years,
I got mine.
it changes.
I got mine.
All right, a remake, though. Okay.
Yeah, I got mine. There's a movie from 1958 called I Bury the Living. It's
Patrick Boone.
with Pat Boone. Not Pat Boone.
Not Patrick Boone.
I said that again.
Richard Boone.
Richard Boone. Pat Boone.
Pat Boone.
In a metal mood. Richard Boone. I said that in the last time we talked about
You
this
did.
damn movie
Pat
too.
Boone.
That was like fucking 5 years ago. I give a fuck, fucker. But anyway, I Buried the Living. It's a 1958 film, black and white. It's about this cemetery worker who's got to put white or black pins for the people who are trying to find a resting place when they are deceased, and putting black pins in the map when people are deceased. And when he puts a black pin in the map, say like somebody pisses him off or does them wrong or something.
Like voodoo.
Yeah, he'll put a fucking black pin in the map, and they'll end up dead. And at the time, you know, they didn't have a big budget for it. It was more or less, you know, in your head type suspense, really. But I think if they remade that today, and when he puts a black pin, they come back as zombies, I think that'd be kind of cool. Like if somebody like who loves the horror genre, like Rob Zombie or, you know, whatever, somebody that really is passionate about it, that knows that film, I think that one might actually benefit from a remake. I kind of like movies that would be remade that didn't have the budget at the time, like even The Four Skulls of Jonathan Drake, something like that.
Yeah.
But that's what the passion is, those old films. You watch them and you enjoy them. You don't really want anything remade, but if I had to pick something, probably something like that would be cool.
For me...
Or The Screaming Skull would be cool, too.
for a good remake, and the only reason I say this, now there's nothing wrong in my opinion with the original film, and I think it's because
Yeah,
of
I say
how it
that
was
as mine
done.
too as well. Yeah.
I actually would like to see without, now if we're talking no CG and shit, like if we actually had like people that could either create the creatures themselves or had real ones. I actually would love to do Todd Browning's Freaks. I think that with
The
right-
PC pussy society we
Yeah.
live in, yeah, go, that would really happen.
Well, you think about the independent guys, Marcus Cook, Jeremiah Cruz, like you get any of those guys together to create.
They technically made a remake called Freak Show.
They did,
but it really wasn't.
No,
up
I'm
to
talking like if you took that same kind of love story
Yeah.
that was going on back then
Between the midget and Cleopatra.
yeah, and really put the right people with it to make those monsters, or the creatures, or just the freaks themselves. Now, the only difference is back then there were actual
real
freaks in it. There
it's the
was
real
no
deal.
there was no makeup. So
Yeah.
I say it as like a remake because I would like to see if you got the right special effects makeup people together to make
Yeah.
that. I think would be really cool.
Can I add one more?
Oh, you can do whatever the
Let's
hell
say
you want.
Creature from the Black Lagoon because it's such and if Dave is watching, we talked about this. It's such a movie that doesn't have, when you watch it, I mean, it's from the 54 or some
So
shit.
primitive.
It feel like it could be from any period, because of that story.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a remake from that would be kind of cool too, even though we sort of kind of got one with
Revenge of the Creature.
no,
Well, that was later. That was 50.
what the hell's that movie called?
Oh, Shape of Water.
Shape of Water, yeah. Technically, it's kind of a bit of Guillermo del Toro's love for Creature from the Black
Yeah.
Lagoon, but that movie's timeless too. The Wolfman was remade, wasn't it? Yeah, that was a pretty good remake actually.
That was the. Well, I was talking about that one, the 2010 one with Anthony Hopkins.
What else is there? There's
I mean,
House on Haunted Hill was remade. 13 Ghosts was remade. Shit, there's a lot of remakes. Not a lot of them are good, but some of them are pretty cool.
Anything else? Rosemary's Baby would be an interesting one.
I think they remade that.
I think they did, but I don't ever remember seeing it.
I think it was made for TV movie. I think. Anything else?
I honestly don't even remember that one, if they did remake it.
Any films that you wish there was another film to continue the story?
Oh, God.
Plus or
In the right way.
in the right way. Yeah. Honestly, I kind of want to know what happens at the end of Thinner. I kind of want to know. Does he blow his brains out when he lets that asshole in? I mean, it's a cliffhanger. What's he call a cliffhanger ending?
Yeah.
It's like I want to know what happens to Regan in The Exorcist after The Exorcist when she hugs the priest at the end. I mean, what?
Well, you know what happens in the
Oh,
second
shit,
one.
that's
She
right,
gets-
yeah,
she
Heretic.
gets thrown into a cycle.
Exorcist, Heretic
Yeah.
2, yeah, okay.
The shit
Never mind.
movie.
I'm still trying to forget that movie. Exorcist 3 is great. So.
Yes, it is. I mean, it's a hard question because if they had a sequel, it was good. Now, a good question, I think,
A sequel to Jason X?
No, it would be, what would you rather have seen a sequel not 20 years later? I mean, because there are sequels to movies that came way too late when certain actors died or they got
Perfect
too
example
old.
of a great sequel, Halloween 2. Amazing. Same fucking night. The best ever.
Even though it was forgotten later, but hey.
The best. Absolute best.
Yeah.
Fright Night 2 is a great sequel.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Chainsaw 2
Return
is a
of the
great
Living
sequel.
Dead 2 is great.
That's just a funny fucking movie.
It is funny, but it's great.
And Tom Matthews and the old guy are back just for no fucking reason whatsoever.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Friday the 13th Part 2. I mean, well, there were. What the hell am I talking about? They were fucking.
And then you had Return of the Living Dead 3, which is actually not. It's a good movie.
Yeah.
Nothing else? Well, come on. Out of you four people, let's hear something.
Make our jobs easier.
Let's hear something. I mean, we could talk about anything, really.
What's a movie that disturbs you to this day? Like to this day, like you cannot watch it.
I mean, there's no movie.
Well, I mean, you
out
can.
there
I mean,
can't
you can watch it, but it still kind of triggers something up here.
Pet Cemetery.
Oh, really? Okay.
The only reason is because that movie,
Rachel.
as a kid,
Rachel.
yeah, Zelda, Pascal, like that
Yeah.
scared me as a kid. Like I bought that movie, or not bought it, but I rented it from our library specifically because of that cover.
Yeah.
Where Pascal was just like, his face is all gone. I mean,
That's the good cover too, not the
Yeah.
bullshit they put out now.
and that movie, even to this day, like I could watch it, but it still gives me those heebie-jeebies because I
Yeah.
remember
Kind of remember it.
watching that, and it was just like it made an impact on me as a young kid.
Yeah, it just sticks with you, man.
What's yours?
Um.
You asked me a question, I'm going to ask you the same question.
Yeah, I mean the movie that is hard for me to watch, but I can still watch it and get some charm out of it. I touched on base on it before, but it's The Girl Next Door. That's just really. Have you ever seen that movie?
When we lived in Two Rivers.
Did we watch it? Yeah.
Yep.
It's just a really powerful film, and I saw the film before I read the book, and I didn't think that the book could get any more brutal, but then when I read the book and then I did some research on the actual Sylvia Likens case, like the actual case the movies and the book are based on. Just so disturbing, man, what they did to that poor gal.
So I remember another one that I remember actually getting I actually got nervous the first time I watched that it was in Two Rivers, was Roscoe the Embalmer.
Yeah, that's the real deal.
I got nervous about watching that because
It's real.
It's real death.
It's real.
This isn't like a fake snuff film or anything like that. Like, this is basically, if you don't know Roscoe the Embalmer, he was an embalmer from third world Colombia down in South America.
Yeah.
And it was a shockumentary made by some Japanese guy, I can't remember.
Same dude that did Wasteland, I believe.
And he basically just interviews this guy who, in a country that's desolate with war and crime and everything like that, has to embalm these people. And for the first time, just when he told me about it, because he owned it for, a lot of years before I did, and he's like, dude, you want to check this movie out? I remember we sat down, he's like, yeah, man, this is the real deal. And I got nervous, I'll tell you.
It's the real deal.
Because you don't know what to expect. And now it's because I kind of know, and I've seen it before now a couple times, so it's not as bad. But I remember the first time that you told me about that, you just don't know what you're expecting.
Yeah.
You expect to get queasy and sick.
Like the first time
know.
you see like Cannibal Holocaust or something.
Yeah, it just
Wow.
it's like, whoa. Yeah. So
Definitely.
I would have to say that, but yeah.
Yep.
What we got?
Skid says he likes reading. Any books out there you wish were made into a movie? That weren't.
Most of the books I read are made into
For adaptations,
Yeah. Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Make a movie about that. That would be a horror movie. That would be a horror movie.
I was starting to think of a book called The Island by Peter. I can't ever say his name. Benchley.
Peter Benchley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Island. That's one that was never made. That would actually be really good.
No, I never read that one.
Yeah, The Island's really good.
No shit. Okay.
Yeah. I think that would be a good one to be a good movie.
I'm trying to think. I like a lot of there was a book when I was a kid called Night Frights.
Night Frights.
Yeah, and it was like one of those like scary stories to tell in the dark, like Goosebumps type books. You get it like the book fair when you were in elementary school and shit. And I always thought that there was one story in there as about a werewolf. I think that would make a fucking awesome feature. That was cool.
Do you know what I wish they would do? If they could do it right, I wish they would do a complete TV series, not this shit now because I know it's big, but like they used to do the old Goosebumps TV show. I wish they would do all the books. They never did all the books. They did certain ones. I wish they would do all the episodes, kind of like like half-hour shows, like they used to do, but redo them.
Some of those don't. Some of those Nickelodeon "Don't Be Afraid of the Darks" too. I grew up with those. Some of those would be.
Are you talking? Are You Afraid of the Dark?
What did I say?
Don't Be Afraid of the Dark.
Oh, that's a movie. Yeah.
No, Are You
Afraid
of the
Dark? Yeah, from
some of those like
on Snick. Remember Snick?
Yeah, the big orange couch.
Yeah. Some
No,
of
I mean,
those were cool.
I think, making some of those into full-length movies, or even made-for-TV movies. Like, if you actually made them an hour long, and wrote them so that it expanded the original TV show, would be really cool.
Mm-hmm. I like to read a lot of true crime books about serial killers and stuff, and a lot of movies have been made about serial killers. But
has there ever been one about Richard Ramirez?
Oh God, yeah, dude.
Movies?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen one.
They're not really anything that great, but there was one. Yeah, we'll talk later. Hey, I got shit.
Well, we got nothing but time here, so you want to talk about
any questions? No. Do you have a question? Why are you guys such nerds?
Why are you idiots? Here's a good question.
Most interesting serial killer that's the most underrated.
Oh God.
Underrated.
That's interesting. I mean,
or brutal, or just one that's not talked about very much.
Well, okay. First one that really comes to mind that people do know who he is, but I think just the way his story was Albert Fish. That is one guy that only killed one person, Grace Budd, but it's how he did it.
I thought he killed a little boy too.
I think he attempted. I don't think he ever did.
I think he did, actually.
Did he?
I think so.
Or was never caught for it.
Because I think he was ever caught.
He admitted to it.
I think so.
But like a guy like that, I mean, that could be a movie. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just that whole Grace Budd story, like the times were different, where you could literally be some old guy off the street and take a girl to a party. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you'd be thrown in jail for being a pedo. I mean, But I think that would be a movie that I would love to be able to see somebody make that, because it's fucked up.
I'd have to say probably Jerry Brutos. That'd be that would be a disturbing movie. I think he's the guy that had a foot fetish. He used to cut women's feet off and shit. I thought that would be kind of cool.
I thought that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
No one's watching. Who gives a fuck?
The 4 people are still intrigued, and I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for being intrigued.
All right, what do we got?
Send us some questions, guys.
Yeah, come on.
And
questions,
gals.
bring them on.
About Albert Fish, Dave said Albert Fish stuck needles in his body for fun.
He did.
Messed up, dude.
Yep.
And he sorted out the fucking the electric chair at Sing Sing.
Yep. Because he had all the needles in there. You can see the X-ray. I think you can Google that.
Yeah, it's fucked up, dude.
But I mean, the fact that you literally write a letter.
He did perversions that weren't even thought of.
He wrote a letter explaining exactly what he did to her step by step and sent it to the parents. How fucked up is that? Like,
how sweet her little ass tasted, and fuck her, she wasn't a virgin.
Yeah.
That's just so brutal, man.
Can I let the dog in?
Yeah. All right, Lugosi's gonna come in for a while.
He's gonna give you some trick or treats.
But yeah, I mean, definitely. You got some
Alright,
questions.
yes, man. Come on.
Be good.
All right, here comes the beast from 10,000 fathoms.
Or some kind of fathoms. Oh,
Yeah, don't knock the TV down. Lugosi. Here, you
wanna
want
say
to
Halloween?
look at everybody?
Happy Halloween.
Say
Happy
hi.
Halloween.
Want to say hi? Yeah.
Dave said, I'd like some of the old Twilight Zone or Outer Limits episodes made into feature films.
Oh,
Yeah,
God,
I
that's
did-
the same idea.
I did like the one with William Shatner, the one with the plane, the demon at the plane.
Yeah.
The hell's that movie called? Something Nightmare at 2,000 feet or some shit. That one.
I don't know the episode, but yeah. I know
Yeah,
what
that
you're
one.
talking
That one
about.
was cool. I think The Holding Man would have made it a good movie.
See what's cool.
Charles
is
Beaumont,
That's I mean, Tales from the Crypt did that with Demon Knight and stuff. I mean, they took
Bordello Blood.
well,
Demon Knight was cool.
Demon
though.
Knight's good.
Billy Zane was badass.
We got to meet him too. Well, kind
Yeah.
of saw him.
He was cool.
No, I agree. There's a lot of especially Tales from the Dark Side. I know they did make a movie though.
I would love a Tales from the Dark Side episode about George Romero's short about Halloween. That fucking creepy witch. That one was cool.
The Season of the Witch. No,
No, it was just it was
Just
a
a
it was a
short.
Tales from the Dark Side
Oh,
episode, but it was set on Halloween about this guy that dares these kids to go into his Halloween haunted maze in his house, and if they come out, they're done with their debts that their parents have.
mm-hmm.
But then there's this witch that comes and just it's fucking great movie or great short, great show. A lot of the Night Gallery stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, the Alfred Hitchcock Hour.
Yep.
I mean,
Alfred
any
Hitchcock
of
Presents.
those is so good. And there's so many of them. What was it? Tales of Tomorrow was another one. What was the one?
The Outer Limits.
What was Boris Karloff's one that he hosted?
Oh, Thriller.
The Thriller Theater or Thriller or
Just
whatever.
Thriller, yeah.
Yeah, Boris Karloff did that one back in the 50s. I mean, there's so many of those cool shows. I mean, people give it shit, but I will tell you, the Friday the 13th series is
Yep.
good. And it just
Freddy's Nightmares too. Remember Freddy's Nightmares?
I have 2 on VHS, and those bitches are hard to find.
I wish they would like a nice set. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, Tales from the Crypt, we all know. Those are, classics.
My favorite, and we're talking like horror TV shows now, I guess, but Creep Show for me is just that first season.
The cartoon?
I'm starting the second
Is
season
that the
now.
cartoon you're talking?
Huh?
The cartoon? Or you're talking...
No, Creep Show, the series. The Great Nicotero.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah, the TV series.
Okay, the new one.
Yeah, that first season is just amazing. I'm starting the second season. So far, I'm not liking it. Hopefully, it gets better. And I got the third season and the fourth season to watch. I don't have Shudder, so I just buy this shit as is.
Do you remember watching the Tales from the Crypt cartoon with the Crypt Keeper? But there was always like
And he was like all cute. Like
There's
they
always-
made him cute.
Yeah, there was supposed to be like lessons to be learned. but in a
Yeah,
horror
yeah,
way.
yeah.
Yeah, those were always fun.
That's like Toxic Avenger had its own like cartoon show too.
something like what are some of your favorite show like TV horror shows? I guess growing up. I mean, Are You Afraid of the Dark was obviously one.
Goosebumps.
Yeah, I mean, there were plenty of them out there. And do they make anything new, like newer?
Horror.
Yeah.
Can't forget Scooby Doo. Where are you? The original Scooby Doo, the '70s one. The one where
69.
where
69.
Shaggy's a fucking stoner. That one's cool.
Like zoinks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, Courage the Cowardly Dog was always so weird and...
It's like Invader. We were talking about the Invader
Yeah.
Zim. We were talking about this at the Haunt last night. Invader Zim. That's kind of an oddball, out there type
I
show.
don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah,
Real Monsters.
Real Monsters was
I know
a
that
fun one.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're all out there, and that's the best part about it. But like, I wish they would actually make a TV series of the scary stories to tell in the dark.
That would be awesome.
That would be fucking sick.
Especially the Big Toe story. Oh,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That was the best part of that movie, I think. That bitch was creepy.
Yeah. So if there's ever one that should be made a TV show, it should be that. And Del Toro should direct it.
Yeah. Guillermo del Toro he just loves the genre, you can tell.
Oh yeah. What do we got?
Oh, wait. Let's
Uh-huh.
see. I have a goose in the way. Any film that you wish you could track down a copy of that isn't available anywhere?
Oh God.
Oh, dear.
Well, I mean, nowadays everything's available. It seems. But are you talking in a certain format? Because I mean, to try to find an original copy of like something on like a Dracula 31 on reel to reel. Well, yeah, that'd be near impossible. But God,
Let's just say it's hard to track down a copy of it, no matter
without
what format.
without mortgaging your house.
Oh, I got one, because it never was released. London After Midnight.
Well, that's unfair. That got burned up in a warehouse. I would say Tales from the Quad Dead Zone.
Yeah, everyone's crazy about that one in VHS world, for sure.
Yep.
And it's a terrible fucking movie. I
Yeah.
watched it. But it's so charming. It is.
Mhm.
He also did one called Black Devil Doll.
He's a motherfucking puppet.
Well, that's a different movie. But yeah.
Well, that's Black Devil. Well, that's not the Black Devil. Doll.
That's Devil Doll.
Devil Doll. Yeah. No, I would say that.
Ragdoll.
Ragdoll.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Something doll. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I mean, there's ones out there that are in certain formats are rare as fuck. But nowadays, those
The
are
Prey,
getting...
the Prey from '83. That one might have in that one. That would be cool. I know it's on an Arrow Blu-ray, but I think it's a Region 2. I would have my eye on that for a while.
The one that the Kindred would be another
I have the
one.
Kindred.
Now you do. Now they re-released
Yeah.
it. For a long time, it was not on anything but.
The Keep, a good one of The Keep would be awesome.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's ones that are, if you get the
Night
VHS
Flyer, Stephen King's Night Flyer. That I have it on VHS, but
So
I can't find it
it's
on
got
anything
that,
else.
it's got that cool iridescent cover.
Yeah. And it's a good movie. It's a great movie.
So, I mean, like, we were talking about this, like, Subspecies, the movie. Like, the series.
Great series.
Honestly, that, if you guys have never seen Subspecies, it is such a great vampire film.
The whole series.
And they're all good.
I think they just made a new one.
What's there, 4 in the original?
4, yeah.
And they're all so good, though. Like, he actually is a very creepy fucking vampire.
Honest Hawes is a creepy Radu Vladislas. Like,
Yeah.
he's just the best.
He's right up there with Max Shrek.
Yes.
Like, and Nosferatu. Like,
Absolutely.
he's up there with Reggie Nader, you
Yeah.
know, and Salem's Lot. Like, they just got that facial structure, just that fucking look.
And the voice.
And the voice. It's just, it's so
Michelle?
it's so raspy. It's
Michelle?
Sounds like Lemmy. Michelle!
Don't get him started.
Yes. Subspecies series is great.
Oh, I love those. That was Blue Moon, correct? Or Full Moon?
Blue Moon.
Blue Moon.
At least you didn't say Blue Sunshine, Ghoul.
Shut up. Full Moon.
Full Moon. Charlie Band. Yep. Also made another good movie called Bad Channels, which I liked. Shrieker, that was a killer one.
Shrieker.
The Dead Hate the Living, that's one of my favorites.
Mhm.
Obviously, the Puppet Master series.
Oh, God, yeah.
Don't make me pronounce all of them because there's so many.
Did you ever see The Littlest Reich yet? That one that came out like 2019?
No, I hear it's really gory though.
Yeah.
I hear it's really gory.
Mine's unfortunately, when I moved here, I packed everything away, so it's sitting in a storage unit probably about a mile away.
Yeah, I never seen that one.
But I do have it because I bought it at Family Video. Rest in peace. So I mean, do you miss video stores?
Yes.
And I'm
There
not
was
talking
just something that was about like going to a video store, whether it's a mom and pop video store. I miss those dearly, but even just something like
You want a beer?
Family Video. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
But
Sorry,
just going to not at all. Just going to a video store with your friends or just solo or whatever, you know, girlfriend, whatever, and just picking out a movie, a physical copy of something, man. Not streaming bullshit, not dinner and a movie bullshit. Streaming, nothing against streaming. You know, you do that, that's fine. But physical media, for far as me and Ghoul, we're collectors, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are as well. Just physical media all the way, man. And there's just something about having something in your hand to look at the back, to look at the, you know, the synopsis of the film, and just taking it home, and it's just there's something. I miss that. I miss going to those places on Friday or Saturday nights or whatnot, and just
that's
looking at the titles.
That's how, like I said, I was saying before about like the movie Thinner. When you see that cover, like it brings back so many memories.
Yeah.
For me personally, like just remembering seeing that, like seeing Night of the Demons.
Yeah.
You know,
For
seeing
me,
Angela, like that.
Oh, yeah.
I literally would actually. I remember this. Yeah. That picture.
Do you want to party?
That terrified the fuck out of me as a kid. And yet today here I sit and I go, man, I wish I had a poster of that. See
Yeah.
how things change.
For me, Candyman and Wishmaster. I remember seeing those.
Andrew Divoff.
I remember seeing those posters in the mom and pop video stores in the 90s, and man, there's just something about those imageries when I see them on the wall.
I remember seeing Witchboard when that hand's coming out of the thing and it's grabbing her by the throat, like
Yeah.
just seeing that.
Remember the standee for Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yes.
One of them, I think it was 4 or 5, but they had like a
Oh, there's a
standee.
bunch
No,
of
it was a
them.
Dream Child 5. Yeah,
I always
had a little stroller and Freddy was above it.
I have the
was just fucking
I have the
awesome.
3D viewers with that image where he's got the cradle. Where it's got all the
Oh, I remember the image, the poster for Freddy's Dead and Wes Craven's New Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
Those were everywhere at like Century or Pick and Save or wherever the hell the store was. Because remember they used to have like the video sections there. That's how old we
And
are.
my dad
That's how old we are, Ghoul.
And my dad would be going out there renting, like, you know, The Running Man. And I'd be sitting there looking at all the horror. And for me, it was taking a VHS cover, flipping it around and looking at the monsters, the images. Like,
He's been good now.
The one where... Well, it's because he wanted to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But the one where... What's the one where Freddy eats the girl? That's...
I think that's 3 Dream Wars. Dream Wars!
Where he's got the giant Freddy head and he's like eating her. Oh my god, I remember seeing that and I was like, holy shit.
Oh, the Freddy penis.
The Freddy penis, yep.
Good times at video stores. I'll still remember, like, there was a store in my hometown called TNR Video. Yeah, oh, you know the fucking
Because there's only one. Two Rivers is only so big.
Yeah, and it was so fucking nostalgic, man, looking back on it. Just
Dave.
seeing all those badass movies on the shelf that I own now. But at the time, I'm just thinking, oh, I gotta have all these, you know.
What do we got? I saw Dave.
If you could pick an original movie prop that you could own, what would it be?
Oh, cool. I'll let you go first. I gotta think.
Bela Lugosi's original Dracula cape, for sure.
You're gonna have to kill his son for that.
I know. Right here. I mean, I wish I could have that. You know how fucking cool that would be? But no, if we're thinking of anything modern,
Oh, we get old and new? Okay, I see.
well, we'll do it.
Yeah, we'll do it.
Let's do
Okay.
old and new. I
Yeah,
would do
okay.
Dracula, Bela Lugosi's original Dracula cape. That would be fucking sick.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay, now I gotta think newer.
For newer, yeah. August Underground Hammer. Oh, wait, I have that.
There was like, huh? What? Oh man. I think what would be really cool is to have the original Necronomicon.
Oh, yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be fucking cool.
For older, wow, I don't even know if this exists anymore, but it'd be awesome. Max Schreck's fucking get up from Nosferatu, man. That'd be badass.
That jacket?
Be badass to have.
Yeah.
I'd wear that around the house.
The original Freddy glove would be fucking phenomenal.
And then for newer, I would probably say, probably anything from, I don't know, House of a Thousand Corpses or something.
I think there's so many stuff. I think it would be cool to get like Betsy Palmer's severed head from Friday the 13th.
Yeah,
I mean, that'd be cool.
Yeah, the severed head in part 2. A guy that let him film at the location of the camp has that.
Like stuff like that would be cool to have, but
Yeah.
But I mean,
Good question. Wow.
It makes you, because there's so much stuff. out
Gunnar
there that
Hansen's
you wish-
original flesh mask is probably deteriorated now. That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
There's original chainsaw used in the fucking movie. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, that stuff's obviously somewhere, I'd imagine. But you know, like you were talking about London After Midnight.
Freddy Glove would be badass.
What about that pelt hat like this that Lon Chaney wore in the pictures?
Well, Forrest J. Eckerman has that, but he's dead now, so where's all that shit?
Right.
Which I want to know. Kirk Hammett probably has it, because he were friends with him. But a lot of those people, like Bob Burns, Forrest J. Eckerman, people that collected all those old horror memorabilia, they're gone now.
So Del Toro's got a fucking hell.
Del Toro has it. Kirk Hammett has a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Phil Anselmo has a lot. Rob Zombie has a lot.
Yep.
Just people that are fans of the old school horror that they grew up on, you know. But I would love to know what happened to all that stuff that Forrest J. Ackerman had.
Well, you got to think. I mean, not just the people who owned it, but think of all the movie prop theaters and shit. Like threw all that stuff away because nobody collected stuff back then. You were smart and way ahead of your time if you took shit out of the trash or said, "Hey, I'll take that jacket." You know, it's like you had a foremind to say, "Hey, I want that stuff."
Oh yeah.
Nowadays, shit's not worth anything because
like when Kirk
everybody
Hammett
wants to
got
collect it.
Bela Lugosi's
Ring, wasn't it?
No, Bela Lugosi's Murder Leger from White Zombie suit.
Oh, God.
And also Boris Karloff from The Black Cat. He saw that in a fucking catalog, dude. It was like in a fucking auction catalog. It was like in the back of a catalog. They had like Marilyn Monroe stuff and, you know, Cary Grant, like really fucking real time actors and shit, you know. Not that Bela and Boris aren't, but
Right.
still, like in the back, because he saw, wow, Boris Karloff's get up from The Black Cat. Bela Lugosi from White Zombie. Wow, you know, that's fucking awesome.
And
it's a piece of film history.
Yeah. And all
Awesome.
that's, and if you guys ever know, if you're a big fan of readers, Kirk Hammett's book Horror Business
Great book.
from years ago, that book, seek that out if you really want to understand like the history, not necessarily of just Kirk's collection, but the stories behind like where this stuff came from, how it became into the public light. But definitely check out that book Horror Business if you guys love reading. It's
Too Much Horror Business.
Too Much Horror Business is so good.
Great.
I thought there was supposed to be a second one.
There's
like
one that
collection,
it's
like-
called. Yeah, I got that. It's
there is another one?
yeah, it's called I think it's called the Kirk Hammett Collection or something. It's just a bunch of posters
Okay.
montage, which is awesome.
But yeah, if you guys like reading, definitely check out Too Much Horror Business, Kirk Hammett's book. You will learn a lot about the history of horror. Not, again, his history is just amazing in itself,
Yeah,
but that fucking...
he would be cool to meet. He
I
really would be
remember.
awesome to meet.
Could you imagine being his neighbor and just like walking up, hey Kirk, you know?
He'd be a fucking cool guy to talk to. Phil Anselmo as well.
Except for Phil lives in a
Rob
bayou.
Zombie. I mean,
Phil lives in the middle of nowhere.
Rob Zombie, people like that. Like, it'd be awesome to just chat horror with them. We did chat with Killjoy. That was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Talked about Coffin Joe and stuff.
See, that's another guy. If you guys don't know, we talk about Coffin Joe here and there. If you guys don't know Coffin Joe, you guys need to do some research because at midnight I possess your soul
I'm invited.
and there he is.
Hi.
So yeah, guys, if you guys
I just love how he stretched like a dinosaur. Like,
if you guys got any more questions, send them our way.
yeah, keep fucking.
We'll try to keep this going for a while. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap her up here.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Keep asking away, whatever the fuck you want, man.
I mean, this is our Halloween show. Like I said,
I drove a while to get here, so
half an hour.
hit us up for some questions.
Okay, well, I guess we could talk about the future of the show. I think that's kind of come into question because we haven't done anything probably all summer. We haven't done anything, and it's pretty unorthodox for us not to do anything. Yeah, ever since we moved up here, and it's only half an hour, but with jobs and everything like that,
Different work schedules. Yeah.
it takes a toll. I mean, when you're living a couple blocks from each other compared to a half hour away,
Tell me about
it's hard to do. But with that being said, I mean the show's not done. Let's first and foremost put it out there for the 4 people watching. Spread the word. The show's not over. I mean, we love what we do.
I've seen our ugly mugs for a while. Yeah.
We love the show. We love the format. Things are going to change throughout the next 5 years. I mean, we're going on 8 years. Would we love to make it to 10 years? Absolutely.
We got episode 50. I don't even know what fucking one.
Yeah, we don't even know anymore.
But I know 50 is coming up. We got to
Yeah.
do something special for that.
So, I mean, obviously we have fans all over the world, which is really weird to say, but, for being the kind of small town bumfucks we are, we got fans in New Zealand and UK and, you name it. And unfortunately, we didn't make a YouTube video, so they weren't a promo video. So the Ninja Badger, it's a shout out to you. Miss you, man. Hopefully you can watch this.
Yeah, hope you enjoy it, brother.
But, the show's not over. We just, I think the break was needed. I don't think everything's going to be a live stream from here on out. We might do one here and there.
We're probably going to take turns, like we did this one here, and then the next one will probably be at my place. And,
And it's more,
switch it up a little
it's more
bit.
recorded shows. I think we'll kind of get back to the
Yeah.
roots with it. So, with that being said, we must have a question or comment.
Horror
So-
icon, dead or alive, that you wish you could meet.
Ooh.
Dead or alive.
Can we have a top 5?
How about one dead, one alive?
That works.
Okay.
Long Chinese so you can get drunk with them in the bar.
No, Andre the Giant, so I can.
Oh,
He'd kill me.
yes.
I would. man, I'll let you go on this one first.
Dead, I probably would have to say Forrest J. Ackerman. That really would be an awesome experience. Uncle Forey.
Because about some famous monsters.
Yeah. And I'm more of a fan of like more the classic horror films. I do love extreme shit, as you all know, but I mean, I have a soft passion for the classics, and I think talking to him about movies like Metropolis and London After Midnight, and you know, Victor Hugo's Hunchback of Notre Dame with Charles Lawton, you know, like stuff like that, just obscure shit. You know, Lon Chaney talk, that'd be cool. For living, Phil Anselmo, definitely.
And you kind of did talk to
him.
him.
I talked to him about Evil Dead. He told me he saw Evil Dead in the drive-in. That was pretty cool conversation. Messiah of Evil. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I would say old George Romero. I fucking would love to sit down and talk to that guy.
God, it would have been awesome, man.
Miss him.
I miss him so much.
He just seemed like such a great guy to just hang out with.
The whole, it'd be badass.
And for living, this is going to be weird because it's not, for a lot of people, nobody's going to know. But I would love to fucking hang out with him and listen to black metal. That's Brian Paulin. I would love to hang out. I would love to hang out with that guy.
Shout out to Morbid Vision Films. I doubt you're watching, Brian, but we love you, man.
I would love to hang out with that guy because we could talk black metal, and his house would be decorated with all of his creatures.
I'd like to meet him and Rich George.
Yeah, it would just be
hanging out with Fred Vogel would be badass.
Yeah, Stephen Byro.
Stephen Byro would be awesome.
Uncle Stephen.
I'll pass on Jim Van Bever because I probably have to bring my liver to that.
But you know, I mean, even the independent people, like for us, I mean, it's a big deal. I mean, they make movies that we love. Cryptoplasm for Brian Paulin. And
Marcus Cook would be cool to hang out with.
Jeremiah Cruz, I think, would be fucking cool.
Jeremiah Cruz from Toe Tag.
There's a lot of people, I think, modern that people
Mike
don't
Mendez,
know.
he'd be cool.
But still living, John Carpenter would be fun to hang out with, though.
Yeah, John Carpenter would be cool. And somebody asked me this, like, if you could meet, I think it was Dave, actually, he said, if you could meet anybody and, like, spend, a lot of money, like, say you spend, like, I don't know, Robert Englund charges probably, like, fucking what?
An arm and a leg?
Yeah.
I mean, Richard Dreyfuss, when I met him, was 80.
I mean, I would pay that to meet only two fucking people, I think. And that would be...
Still living?
Yes. Okay. And that would be Robert Englund and John Carpenter. And I think that would be it. There's really nobody else that... Tony Todd would be badass.
I don't know if it would be 80 bucks worth.
No.
Or probably more than that.
There's so many horror celebrities and people that are gone, man. It's crazy. It really fucking is.
Yeah, when you sit back and you look at...
It's like sad, too.
Gunnar Hansen.
He would have been cool.
Wes Craven. I mean, fuck.
Wes would have been awesome.
And now, of course, we shouldn't forget Julian Sands. From Warlock. Yeah. From what we know, went missing on his hike in the woods in California and Oregon.
Yeah, that's
and he's gone. So Julian Sands, he's a fucking horror legend. Which I guess we don't do enough tributes, but that's something we should be cheersing to. Fucking Julian Sands, man. That if anybody watches any of the Warlock movies and
Warlock, badass.
So definitely. Yeah, I almost forgot about that because we actually have lost quite a few horror people since our last show.
Which was a long time ago.
Yeah, that tells you. All right. You can talk to them. I'll be back.
All right. I got any questions?
No.
No. No questions?
No questions.
If you could go to a film location for any movie, what would it be?
Oh, okay. Probably Nosferatu 1922. That would be kind of cool. Because I saw... my Blu-ray has like a behind-the-scenes... they kind of go back to the locations and you see like all the Carfax Abbey stuff and just the awesome architecture. That'd be awesome to see. Also the Stanley Hotel, even though it was not technically in The Shining, that would be cool to see. And of course the Myers house and Nancy Thompson's house and all kinds of stuff. List is endless. But if I had to pick one, probably Nosferatu 1922. Film locations, that'd be cool.
Where is that?
Someplace in Germany.
Okay.
That's all I know. Yep, someplace in Germany.
Alright, what was the question? I missed.
If you could go to a filming location for any movie, what would it be?
I said Nosferatu 1922, by the way. I think that'd be awesome.
Alright, we're switching here. Oh god. So filming location. I actually wouldn't mind going to the house for Salem's Lot. I don't remember where the hell that is. I think it's on the East Coast somewhere. That'd be a cool place to go. The original Salem's Lot. No, obviously most of these locations were knocked down and don't exist anymore. But let's go to the island of Amity for Jaws. Martha's Vineyard. That would be cool. I would love going there. But yeah, anything else? Was that Dave?
Yeah.
Dave!
No, oh, who asked the question?
Yeah.
Not me.
Oh, what else you got?
I don't know.
No, it's so weird. I was watching, I got a movie a while back, Tarantulas, if you haven't seen it. It's from 73, I believe. It's got a cameo from Tom Atkins, of course, from Halloween 3 fame, and Night of the Creeps, and Night of the Cheeps. But Tarantulas is another good one. These tarantulas get transported from Brazil on this cargo ship, which ends up crashing and burning, and all the spiders get out. And I always loved, like, back in the 70s, 80s, even the 90s when you had Arachnophobia was really good, because they actually used real tarantulas. You had Kingdom of the Spiders, but now it's like all these spider movies are pretty terrible, or snake movies. Anything with dealing with, like, amphibians or bugs that people hate. Even Creepshow, when they use the original with all the cockroaches and stuff. But yeah, Tarantulas I watched, which is Deadly Cargo, is what it's called, Tarantulas.
Tom Atkins.
Yep. I was saying he had a cameo until he dies. But I was
With
talking
all
about,
the beans. Coffee beans.
I was talking about the beans.
Coffee beans.
Because I was talking about bug movies and how they've changed over the years.
Are you answering a question or are you talking to
No,
yourself?
just talking to myself, trying to come up with something.
Okay.
All right, there's somebody said something. Hey,
Top 5 best practical effects, special effects, horror scenes.
Oh shit. Wow.
Dead Alive.
This is gonna be a lot.
Dead Alive for sure. The lawnmower scene at the end.
Party's over.
You can't fucking go wrong with that.
Party's over.
See, I mean, are we okay? If we leave for this one, we'll do Hollywood features, not independent, because independent basically a lot of it is practical effects. Not all of it, but a lot of it is. So I want to leave that out of it. So it's got to be Halloween or like Hollywood type releases or major releases for practical effects. The Thing. Hello.
What?
Are you dead?
No, why can't I have independent?
I mean, I guess you could, but yeah, okay. Well, I guess we'll leave it open for everything. All right, what do you got?
Fetus.
That's all you want to say. Fetus.
Fetus is a
Brian Paulin film.
special effects extravaganza from Brian Paulin, Rich George, Orbit Vision Films. Not for everybody, but the few and the proud, fucking gorehounds out there, dig that shit up, man. Fetus.
Well, for me, it would be Bouquet of Guts and Gore. American Guinea Pig.
Same here.
I mean,
That'd be number one.
It's not a snuff film. It's a basically LSD trip for basically ransom, and we talked about this before. If you want to talk about special effects,
Marcus Cook.
oh my goodness, Autopsy Effects is an amazing company.
Yeah.
They did 100 Tears and you name it. It's just, yeah. They did Bloodshock. And I would say, I mean, even look at like Frankenstein. In 1931.
Jack Pierce make it.
Any Jack Pierce film for that matter. I mean, you're talking films. Lon Chaney before. I mean, he did makeup on himself, and look at the things he did. Phantom of the Opera to London After Midnight. I mean, there's just so many things he did.
Hunchback is just his performance in Hunchback is just unbelievable. Right. It's heartbreaking.
But all the makeup he did himself.
Yep.
I mean, you're thinking 1920s, 1930s. Who the fuck did that? Nobody.
I have to definitely throw Savini on there too for the burning, the raft scene.
Yep.
Maniac.
Yep. Blows his own head off.
Even the Prowler, the scene in the shower where he sticks her in the shower. Mm-hmm. That's just amazing. Friday the 13th, final chapter. That's Day of the Dead. All the Dead movies.
Yep.
Those are just amazing.
The trilogy, Night of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead.
Phantasm too. I mean, that part, the sphere, man, like that's badass.
I would even say Creep Show. I mean, that's got great effects.
Fluffy.
In that one, Fluffy, yeah.
Fluffy.
Crate. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There are a lot.
Toe tag pictures.
Yep. And Fred Vogel, who obviously went to school and taught at Tom Savini's art school, which is badass.
And got kicked out.
Oops. Because he did. Red Sin Tower is one that doesn't get talked about enough.
That's a very underrated, great film.
Has some great effects in that one.
Night of the Demons is great. Demons, Lamberto Bava film. I would have to say anything Giannato de Rossi did for Fulci. Definitely Gates of Hell, House by the Cemetery.
Oh no, he didn't do that one.
Yep. House by the Cemetery, Zombie, The Beyond.
And a lot of this is
New York Ripper.
A lot of this is suggestive to the time periods. Look at the stuff that happened in the 70s. Fulci, Zombie, stuff like that compared to the 80s. Everything moved along. So
you could even throw Ellen Ormsby on there for Deranged, because that was, that was some fucking fucked up shit for the time.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is
Herschel Gordon Lewis. He just
look what he did in the 60s. Blood Feast,
unbelievable.
Nobody had seen that shit before.
Nobody had seen anything like Blood Feast in the 60s. Oh my god! And if there ever was a question like, could you go back in time and see any movie in the theater drive-in, it would be Blood Feast, because I would just love to watch everybody faint and puke on their hot dogs. Yep. That'd be great.
Yep. And even though we look back at it today and how cheesy
it's all cheesy and campy, but at the time, my god, you never seen evisceration.
A guy literally cutting a woman's tongue out, you never saw that. He did Wizard of Gore.
Yep. Gruesome, twosome.
My god, it's just
so many.
We got something. Yeah, it's amazing how things transcend from time to time. Even the effects on The Exorcist. Look at how they made her from this great fucking, Reagan's a good-looking girl to being the ugliest thing on planet Earth and scary as fuck.
I always thought that Jim Saito was actually that old. I really did. I actually thought he was that old. Yep. But it's just a fucking makeup. Yep. He really is not that old in that movie. Dick Smith made him look like an old guy. And it's amazing makeup.
Oh, hand me the computer. I can't read that. All right.
Hey, we're watching ourselves.
All right. Oh, the zombie versus helicopter. Yeah, the decapitation.
Oh, yeah, man.
Best zombie flick.
One of the best.
Okay, best zombie flick. Ooh.
That's a good one.
That is...
I'll let you go first.
Best zombie flick?
Can we do old and new? Let's do that. We'll do that.
Oh, man.
Old and new. So you could have anything from White Zombie. Hell, you could have anything from Count of Dr. Caligari to...
Yeah, that was...
Whatever the fuck came out recently.
That was more voodoo. Yeah. The times had changed. Let's think here. Old.
I already know mine.
That's actually a good question. I mean, I would go. I mean, I do love Dead Alive. I think it's so much fun.
What? No pudding.
It's so much fun. I don't even know if you'd really consider that old or new.
Well, it's from '94, so it's pretty old at this point.
Jesus. I mean, new. I mean, yes, I know I'm not kissing ass to Brian or anything, but Bone Sickness was a lot of fun.
God, you dick. That was my fucking pick.
Haha! See, great minds think alike. So we
Yes.
know how this works.
Van Gooler.
Sit down.
2 corpses in a casket.
Come here. What?
For me, for older, I'd have to say, probably Gates of Hell.
That's another
We
good one.
brought that up a long time, but Giovanni Di Rossi's effects in that are just amazing. The Beyond is great as well. For newer, this asshole already said it, Bone Sickness for zombies. A movie that doesn't get talked a lot about, and we kind of touched base on it a little bit tonight, is called The Dead Hate the Living. It's a full moon film by Dave Parker, directed by Dave Parker, and it's actually a really fucking cool love letter to the Fulci films. I'd recommend The Dead Hate the Living. That was a good zombie movie. The Dead is a good one.
Yeah.
The Dead 2 is okay too, but yeah, those Dead movies are pretty good.
Yes.
I'm trying to think of zombie movies that are actually good, that are actually kind of have some kind of charm to them, because there's so many. I mean, I like Cockneys versus Zombies is fucking hilarious. I love that.
Oh,
movie.
zombie.
Well, Zombie,
Oh,
Shaun of
Zombie's
the
fun.
Dead, shit like that. You know, there's a plethora of cheesy stuff, but as far as serious goes, those are probably my pick.
See, I remember one that was kind of fun was The Dead Want Women.
I have that movie. I still never watched it.
You and me watched it.
I probably fell asleep. Yeah.
It's kind of funny actually. But that leads
Eric Roberts in that?
No,
Oh.
no. He's there is a question that Dave asked. Any good horror comedies?
Oh,
There are
Cockneys versus Zombies.
Brutal Massacre.
Brutal Massacre, top number 1.
We've talked about that movie.
I don't give a fuck, fucker.
I was gonna fucking tear the thing down anyway. I don't give a shit.
Gunnar Hansen in Brutal Massacre is just the greatest thing ever. The greatest thing ever.
Dave,
if anyone ever never seen Brutal Massacre, I highly would recommend checking that movie out.
It's actually shit.
I'm covered in shit. Ellen Sandwich.
Oh man.
Ken Foree poops his pants.
That.
Yeah. It's a fucking great movie.
Once you figure out what the fuck she wants. She keeps running over the hill. No, you don't understand.
All right, people, I gotta get 50 fucking shots.
So now you're gonna get us going on that movie. I mean, other
Need a killer?
We did a show that actually got banned. Well, it got taken off of YouTube.
Fuck you, YouTube.
And it was our horror comedy show, which
Yeah.
apparently still exists.
I don't know why the hell it got taken down. I think it's probably because of the...
Our kill scenes we use, because it gets banned
Yeah,
for shit.
I think it was because Gunnar Hansen died around the same time, and we did a tribute to Gunnar Hansen and Texas Chainsaw, and
Brutal Massacre.
I think the company
Harpoon.
that put that out, I don't know,
They had a bug up their
copyright
ass or
some
something.
bullshit.
So, yeah.
Herschel Gordon Lewis, we did a Blood Feast one too, and that one got
Well,
copyrighted.
it was only because it was the barrel rolling scene.
I don't even know what the fuck is okay to do anymore on YouTube or social media. or
Because it's
whatever.
funny, because I
fucking
see
know.
stuff on YouTube that
We just do whatever the fuck we want.
we take videos off of YouTube. Like when I do kill scenes for our breaks,
Yeah.
they're videos from YouTube, and
Yeah.
we get them taken down. It's the stupidest damn thing.
We're so sick of dealing with that bullshit. In fact, we pretty much decided we're going to stop doing the show at one point because we just got so fed up with YouTube's bullshit. But we decided to keep checking on and pissing people off, so fuck you.
Other good horror comedies. I was gonna say The Dead Want Women has some good horror comedy aspect to it.
Definitely Dead Alive.
Yeah. And I would almost think like most movies that are quotable.
It's a
They
movie
always-
called It Stands the Sands Red. It Stains the Sands Red. I thought that kind of had the comedic moments in it. That was a good one. Zombies.
No, we're just thinking horror comedies.
Oh, horror comedies.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, that. Yeah.
Young Frankenstein. Everybody knows that. It's a classic.
With Peter Boyle. Yes.
Yep. What hump?
It's Frankenstein. Frankenstein.
Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Jeez, I'm trying to think here. I know we went through a whole.
Night of the Demons is fucking hilarious. I mean, I know it's not made as a.
Butch.
I know it's not made as a horror
Not
comedy,
meant to
but it's
be,
just so fucking campy. You gotta laugh at Stooge. Eat a bowl of fuck.
Oh, just going to ask top 5 horror movie quotes.
Well, that would be one of them. Eat a bowl of fuck.
Oh man.
Okay,
is this between you and me? Because my God, there's so many of them.
Is Jaws off the list or?
Well, that would be all 5.
Yeah, it would be.
So one
Stop talking about yourself, Hoopa.
One of the funny ones we always do is, what British, you know? Because Horror Express.
Monster.
Horror Express.
Yours.
It became one of the most quotable movies between me and Skidgore.
It just happened. I don't know why. It just happened. Like, he saw the film. I knew the film from a long time.
And your friend Kevin.
Yeah, my friend Kevin. Like, we would just watch it and just quote it, and we would do it in public, and everyone would think we're fucking so stupid. It was great. Like, Black Open Toe? Yes.
Yes. Sorry if I'm in your way.
Not at all. What do you expect me to do about it?
What's
I sent you a telegram 3 weeks ago.
3 weeks ago. Gold? It's an involuntary specimen.
No value to a thief? Thief? Baggage man? You're right, madam. I do not care as much as I should.
Says here, 8A, upper berth. 8B, lower berth. I'm sorry.
If anyone's never seen Horror Express, man, it's one of the best fucking movies ever made.
You will know.
You got Christopher Lee, fucking Count Dooku himself, and General Moff Tarkin, fucking
Telly Savalas.
Peter Cushing,
And
Telly
Savalas
Savalas.
is in it.
Who are the troublemakers?
Who are the troublemakers? Oh my God.
Such a great movie.
Dr. Alexander Saxton.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Yes, I'm telling you, it's alive. I told you, a 8-pot manor lived 2 million years ago.
Dave, you started that shit.
No value to a thief.
But as far as Jaws goes, oh my goodness.
You may fire when ready. Okay, the movies.
You gotta watch Horror Express if you don't know. 72.
Should I do the Indianapolis speech?
Do it.
Okay.
Can he do it?
See if I can remember
Can
this.
he do it?
You gotta do what happened, though.
What happened? I fucking laughed. All right, we're doing the Indianapolis speech just for you, Dave, and whoever's watching.
Is Haley watching?
No, probably not.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Here we go. What happened?
Japanese submarine slammed 2 torpedoes into our side, Chief. I was coming back from an island attending the lady who just delivered the bomb, the Hiroshima bomb. And 800 men went in the water. The vessel went down in 12 minutes. Didn't see the first shark for about an hour. Tiger. You know how you're in the water, Chief? You know, you can tell. You can tell from looking from the dorsal to the tail. But we didn't know. Our bomb mission had been secret. No distress signal had been sent.
I'm trying not to laugh.
We didn't even list it all due for. Very first light, Chief.
Sorry.
Sharks come cruising. So we kind of formed ourselves into tight groups. It was kind of like old cows in the bows, like the Valley of Valley-Lou. Shark comes to the nearest man, he starts hollering, screaming. Sometimes his shark go away. Sometimes he wouldn't go away. Sometimes that shark, he looks right at you. Right into your eyes. You know the thing about a shark? He's got lifeless eyes, black eyes, like a doll's eyes. When he comes at you, don't seem to be living until he bites you. And those black eyes roll over white, and then, oh, didn't you hear that terrible high-pitched screaming? The ocean turns red, and despite all the hollering and the pounding, they just come in and they rip you to pieces. No, on that first dawn, lost 100 men. I don't know how many sharks. They mentioned maybe 1,000. They managed 12 half an hour. On Thursday morning, Chief, I bumped into a friend of mine, Herbie Robinson from Cleveland, baseball player, was in Maine.
See, I've heard this before.
And I thought he was
why you
asleep.
Straight face.
I reached out to wake him up. Kind of bobbed out of the water like a kind of upended. Well, he'd been bitten in half below the waist.
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Fuck,
Fucking
Mr.
nerd.
Hooper. Oh, this be.
What a
Anyway,
nerd.
Mr. Hooper, this is the thing. Feedback later, the big fat PBY coming down, ready to pick us up. You know that time I was most frightened? Waiting for my turn? I'll never put on a life jacket again. So, when the man went out of the water, the thing came out of the mouth, saying just totally fucked that last part up. Anyway,
It's not as
we
bad.
delivered the bomb. I fucked that last part up.
There
You know,
go,
when
man.
Robert Shaw delivers that, he's drunk as fuck, right? So, like, if you ever watch Jaws with subtitles, his speech makes more sense. But when you watch it, it's like, you know, he's got like the Captain Ahab fucking swagger to him, you know.
Yep.
But if you watch it with subtitles, a lot of what he makes about the Indianapolis makes more sense. But that's kind of what I
Well, see,
think.
when we on the show we did a Jaws episode. Oh, we
Hope
fucked
you
around.
enjoyed that. Whoever the fuck was.
We fucked around with that, and I told Skids because I had my Jaws shirt on, and I did the. If you've never seen it, I'm Chief Brody, and I'm standing up there with my glasses, you know, and I asked the question. If you've never seen it with the boat creaking in the background,
Yeah, he put a boat creeping in the background. That was pretty cool.
and there's one part where you actually literally do sound like Quinks. You're like, "The house, the back of the house."
I was a lot drunker than I am tonight.
He couldn't remember it. It was hilarious. But thank you, Dave, for bringing that up. Because
I hope you enjoyed that.
the Indianapolis speech is famous
Yes.
for just being Skids' shiny moment in life.
Yes, it is.
Um,
And I don't do it very often. So consider yourself
lucky.
lucky. Because time anyone asks me to do it, I freeze. I can't do it. But if I do it on my own accord, I can do it.
Let's see somebody asked you.
Yeah, I get like all, I don't know. I get kind of shy, I guess.
What that for?
Another quote is, "Welcome to Time Prime, bitch." That's another good one from Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. Eat a bowl of fuck, stooge from Night of the Demons, talked about before.
Of course, don't forget the classic, "They're coming to get you, Bob."
Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Yeah, that's a great one.
That is definitely a good
Even both versions are great, yes.
So is anybody actually, I mean, if you had to pick what is the best version, the Tom Savini version or the George Romero for Night of the Living Dead?
That is a very fucking hard question because I love both of them for different reasons. And they're both totally different films, so it's a very rubbish question. But I do like the original. I have a soft spot for it.
Well,
But I do like Uncle Ridge.
the original was more political because of the time it was.
Oh, Dwayne Jones getting blown away at the end. Fuck.
It
And then
was-
Martin Luther King gets assassinated when they have the film in the can, basically, and they're on the way to find a distributor.
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 Distributor. A masturbator distributor.
Yeah.
No, I mean, you got to think in 1968, you had the whole civil rights shit going on, and all of a sudden you had a lead character who was a black man for one, and for two, a white man shooting a black man at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like that, the political if you ever read about it.
But they always
so much-
said was Dwayne Jones was the best actor they could find at the time. And he happened to be an African American.
And he was.
And he was an amazing fucking actor.
Mhm.
He was also in Ganja and Hess, which is another good horror film. You know?
But then you have, the Tom Savini one,
Yeah.
where you get Tony Todd to play,
Candyman himself.
you know, and
Don't forget Bill Moseley's
and
Johnny.
Bill Moseley.
They're horny, Barbara. They've been dead a long time. You bastard. Patrika something, I forget her last name, but she was really good.
Romero's version has a slight edge. I agree for the time. Yes, it definitely was groundbreaking for what it was. I mean, it made zombies, flesh-eating zombies, actually a thing. Before that, like I said, it was like with White Zombie and stuff like that. Those films were voodoo-based.
Yeah.
So for the flesh-eating zombies, you also had nudity in that film.
Yes, you did.
The bare ass of a man. But you had the actual eating of flesh, and that transformed what films would become.
I would say 2 films that you got to talk about before Night of the Living Dead, though, when it comes to zombies. I mean, there's a plethora even before that, but I'm talking like the flesh-eating aspect, or even just like the dead aspect would definitely be Plague of the Zombies, Hammer film.
Oh God, yeah.
Because that was just the look of a corpse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that dream sequence when the corpses come up, when he takes the shovel and takes the head off. That was definitely a groundbreaking moment. And also Carnival of Souls, Herc Harvey, man.
Yeah.
Like George was inspired by 2 movies. It was The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price from 56, I believe. Mm-hmm. And Carnival of Souls from 62. And he put both of those movies together. Especially Last Man on Earth, but they're vampires, you know. They're Morgan, you know, they're pounding on the fucking door.
Yep.
But he took that and he made his own thing with it about the Flesh Eaters. And it was originally supposed to be called The Flesh Eaters, but there is a movie called Flesh Eaters, which is badass, by the way. Which is badass, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's the 81. I'm talking about the black and white one. It's just called Flesh Eater.
Oh,
it's about those parasites in the ocean. Yeah,
never seen it.
It's a good movie. But yeah, I mean, you go back all the way, to White Zombie. You know, it's just, you want to talk zombies, man. Fuck, like, there's so many great ones. Some of my personal favorites are Let Sleeping Corpses Lie. I think that's a good one.
Talked about that on our zombie episode.
Yeah.
I mean, we actually, like I said, a lot of this stuff we talk about, we've had shows dedicated to. I mean, if you ever go, like, check out my channel and just go through, like, our old shows.
Yeah.
Like from, I think this was episode 9, I think we did zombies.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And, I mean, you will learn about so many. We did one for vampires. We did one for werewolves. We did one for,
Werewolves, yeah.
I mean, we did everything. We talk about movies that...
Does anybody out there watching know who Paul Naschy is? And what are some of your favorite films of his?
Yeah, we did bring him up before.
Because, me and Gould did a long time ago, we did a Spanish horror tribute. Yeah. And Paul Naschy was on there.
A lot.
Yes, and that was a lot of fun. And I'm a huge fan of Paul Naschy and Spanish horror. Like Amando Diasorno of the Blind Dead films.
Mm-hmm.
And, definitely Paul Naschy. Sergio Martino, I think that's Italian though. But yeah, the Italian, Spanish, you know, anything European horror. I think European horror has just got such more of an edge on it than the U.S. shit. No disrespect to the U.S. shit, but I just think...
Well, anything Italian. Like, we always talked about...
Especially like, Mario Bava. Man.
Italian films, it was the lighting.
Mario Bava, yeah.
The soundtracks. I mean, fuck, those blow most of the American films out of the water.
Right, yeah.
I mean, taking nothing away from, like, John Williams.
I mean, we had Psycho.
Yep.
But they had Peeping Tom, you know, and both of those movies are landmark movies. And then you had Dibalik. Yep, you had that one. That was a groundbreaking film. Eyes Without a Face is a French film, which is totally fucking huge. In fact, John Carpenter took inspiration for the look of the shape Michael Myers from Eyes Without a Face, the mask that chick wears in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like a soulless type face. So you can see the influences coming from overseas here.
How dare you disrespect William Shatner, though? Come on. It is the Shatner mask.
Yeah. But speaking of William Shatner, we'll talk about Devil's Reign, man. Like, that's one of my absolute favorite Satanic Panic.
I mean, that was John Travolta's first on-screen film.
Yeah.
Very short as it was, as he had a melting face. But yeah, I mean, that was John Travolta's first fucking movie.
Ernest Borgnine.
I mean, you think about it, which is really weird. William Shatner was actually in more horror films than most people ever remember. I mean, he was in Kingdom of the Spiders, which...
Great film.
which I talked about before as far as like bug movies.
Yep, that's a good one. And they use real spiders.
Well, they had to act.
They never would do that shit today.
Funny story about that. The original spiders that they had brought in for that movie, they actually, when the scene when they're walking out in the ranch, because they find the dead animals, there's that big mound, and you see the spiders crawling out of it.
Yeah.
That's the movie magic back then. They had the spiders that they brought in, they found out that were actually poisonous, and they were biting the actors. So that scene was filmed in an encasement of plexiglass because the spiders were actually biting the cast. And
can you say troopers? Jeez.
Well, they're I don't remember which one of the actresses actually threatened to quit because she was like, I'm sick and getting bit.
Can't blame them, man. My God.
I mean, think about that. That is dedication, but it reminds me of
arachnophobia too.
It reminds me of when in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah.
Remember he falls down in that pit and he lands up in front of that king cobra. That's shot behind plexiglass.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real snake.
Yeah, you're gonna talk about snakes now. Okay,
Yep.
Great.
Snakes on a plane. You motherfucker. There's a motherfucking snakes. That's a motherfucking plane. All right, what do we got?
Got any questions?
I brought this up to Skids at Wendigo and did mention it to Andy, but what are some good movies from the past
couple years?
Oh.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
You go first.
Let the Right Ones In. That's a good movie.
Let the right one in.
Let the Right One In. That's a good one. Oh shit. The Innkeepers I actually really like. That's a really good like haunted type film.
It's a Ty West movie, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We Are Still Here. That is one of my favorites. I love that fucking movie. If you haven't seen it,
Ghoul fucking loves that movie.
That movie.
We must have watched that movie at least 5
it's
fucking
so good.
times. It is good.
That is fucking creepy as shit.
It's kind of got a bit of a House by the Cemetery feel to it.
Yeah, with the burnt family that just kind of like shows up and it's like shit.
That's a great movie.
Good
pick. Fuck yeah. That's a good one.
Let's see. Let's try to think here.
Are we taking turns or should I go too? I think we both take.
One other one that I like is, if I can say it right, Thanamorphosis.
Yeah.
That movie is fucking depressing. But it is the Anamorphosis.
Thanamorphous. Yep.
Yeah. Unearthed Films released that one. That one is depressingly fucking gross and sad.
Yeah.
Because she basically decomposes from the inside out and
right
can't do
in
anything
front
about
of you.
it.
Right in front of you, all practical effects.
And it's a slow burn. But
Yeah.
once it goes, man, it goes.
But you get to know her, and you get to see
It's compassion.
how she's deteriorating, and it's just heartbreaking. You know, it's
Because she doesn't understand why it's happening to her, and
Yeah.
it's really depressing. But if you ever can get that movie, watch that one. That's a good one.
yeah.
All right, go ahead.
I would say a movie called Terrified, not to be confused with Terrifier, which is great as well. There's a movie called Terrified, which is a Shudder original. That one's really creepy. It's about a paranormal team investigating hauntings, and then there's this demon that hides under the bed. There's a scene where this demon comes out of under the bed, and it's just a total shit your pants moment, man. That's a great one. The Dark and the Wicked, which is another Shudder original. That was a good one. Kind of a desolate atmosphere with a farmhouse and paranormal activity going on. The Dark and the Wicked. Last Voyage of the Demeter. I thought that was a great one too. It was my pick tonight. It's a really good vampire atmosphere. It's not like about a bunch of suave fags running around. It's a creepy vampire. It looks like an actual vampire bat mixed with like Max Schreck. You know, it's awesome.
Come on, everybody, do the bat.
It's just awesome. There's a movie called Fell, which nobody out there is even gonna know. There's a movie called Fell. It's a Marcus Cook film. That's a really good one about a guy who accidentally kills his girlfriend, and she comes back, and he keeps her rotting body in the shower, and she's just haunting him. That's a good one.
It reminds me of Morris County.
That's a really good one. Morris County's another good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. You kind of got to dig for them. May, even though it's from 2002 or 3, that was an amazing movie.
Raw.
Raw
from
is
2015 about cannibalism. That's a
Yeah.
good modern cannibalism film.
good. Yeah.
That's got really good character build-up in it. That you find out so much more, like
I like late phases too.
late phases we talked about. Yeah, there's a lot
ATM.
of,
ATM was good. I liked ATM. ATM. That was a good one.
I mean, there are some really good ones that I think are worth seeking out.
There really are.
Um,
Just keep watching Descent into Ohio. You'll learn more.
Vive will tell you.
We'll tell you what's good and what's shit.
I'm trying to think something else. Fairly recent. I mean, in the last couple of years has really been dominated by like Jordan Peele.
Oh, I saw a movie recently. It's actually another Shudder original called Deadstream. And I'm not the biggest fan of found footage films, but this one actually was done pretty fairly well. And it's about like this YouTuber, he's a really annoying YouTuber, and he says something offensive, you know, the PC Pussy Society we live in. He said something that's wrong, you know. So he loses all his followers, and the distribution company he was with fucking drops some. So he wants to find his followers back, and this guy's kind of like a risk taker, you know. So for Halloween night, he stays the night at this real haunted house, and shit gets real.
It's real.
And it's all on a live stream too, so the film is like made like a live stream, Deadstream, hence the title. But it was pretty good, Deadstream. I like that. Oh, I saw another one called Cobweb. That was really good. It stars the same little kid that was in Last Voyage of the Demeter, and he plays this. This kid is really down on his luck because his family life sucks. His parents are really strict. There's definitely something wrong with his parents. He goes to school, tries to make friends, but just makes a bunch of enemies, and there's this bully that bullies him daily. And then on top of that, he's got this creepy fucking woman living in his walls of his room that is telling him to do really bad things. Like he pushes that bully down the stairs and twists his ankle and shit. And I won't give away the ending, but you kind of got to watch it towards the end to find out who the origins of this woman is. It just kind of slaps you, man, in the face. It's when you find out. But Cobweb was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Really good Halloween atmosphere with that one, too.
One more I want to give out is a movie called Truth or Dare, that was directed by Jessica Cameron.
Yep. Yeah, we watched that one.
This one is a brutal fucking movie. So Jessica Cameron, who we found out was in Song of Solomon.
Another good one.
By Unearthed Films, is the American Guinea Pig. Next installment was Song of Solomon.
I'd recommend that one too.
But Jessica Cameron in her directorial, I think it was debut, did this movie called Truth or Dare, where these group got people that basically do YouTube videos about faked stunts, about life or death kind of stunts, his Truth or Dare game, and they get this obsessed fan who's just like wants to be a part of the show so bad that he ends up luring him into this house and basically creates his own game of Truth or Dare.
Yeah.
And I mean, he gets into some deep shit with these people, like as far as he knows their deepest, darkest secrets. And he basically tortures them in order to admit.
Get the truth out.
Yeah, and it's some deep shit. You learn about incest, you learn about fucking, just weird shit.
That was a fun watch.
And it's gory, it's got some great kills in it, got some just torture elements to it. So definitely a great film, Truth or Dare, directed by Jessica Cameron. Definitely check that one out. That one's definitely worth it.
I also got to say, make sure you check out the 80s Truth or Dare
Yes.
Tim Ritter movie, because that one's badass too.
And Killing Spree. Killing Spree is another one.
Oh, yeah. Great shit.
All right, guys. Well, it's coming up on, I think we're going to wrap this up.
Any more questions, or we did?
Hang on, we got one. I watched Haunt the other day. It was pretty damn good.
Oh, the Halloween one?
Same type of storyline as Hellfest, yes.
Yes, yeah, that was a good
Absolutely.
one. Eli Roth produced that one. Yeah, that was a good one. I enjoyed the warehouse Halloween haunted house atmosphere.
Oh, so cool.
I liked the masks in that movie too, especially the witch. She looked fucking badass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like you can make if you can do a film and you can make really great costumes, you're gonna be okay. Like
Hellfest was badass too.
because I showed you Knucklebones.
Yeah.
a couple of years ago.
Yep.
And that was one of those where it made a really genuinely cool killer. Unfortunately, you know, it kind of gets buried under everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can make a really cool mask and shit in films,
There's another film.
definitely worth it.
There's another film that's kind of getting more momentum. In fact, Shudder is actually going to be making a third one on Halloween, I believe. They're premiering it.
1031.
It's called Hell House LLC. Now, I always say I'm not the biggest fan of found footage films, but this movie is probably one of the scariest fucking movies I've seen in a long time. Just the atmosphere with the Abaddon Hotel, that creepy fat fucking clown that you don't even see move, but he just shows up and like he'll show up at the end of a hall or the end of a stairway and he's just staring at you. Something about that man is creepy as fuck.
We made a movie kind of like that.
Houses,
the AT&T building.
Houses October built. Those were good.
Good, but the second one not as good.
Second one was fair, but not as good as the first one. Yeah, I mean, they're out there. You just kind of got to dig.
Yeah, and you got to. And what we found out is you got to take chances sometimes. Just because something looks good does not mean it is. Look at a lot of the artwork from the 70s and 80s. Like, the artwork looks phenomenal, but the movie itself is either lackluster or shit. And it's the same thing with movies nowadays. The cover might not really grab you.
Especially Wild Eye.
But definitely, just sometimes you got to take a chance and just watch them, and you'd be surprised. Because there's a lot of movies that I have on my shelf for a long time. And I'm like, all of a sudden I'll come across a review of somebody I trust, and they're like, "Oh my god, check this out!" And I'll watch it. It's the best damn thing ever.
There's another movie that I liked called House on Cuckoo Lane. It's basically, it kind of takes place during the whole the video nasty era. The movies that were persecuted for that, but it's just a really good film about this guy who's trying to find the most brutal, extreme film ever. And he ends up finding this movie called House on Cuckoo Lane, and it's just his journey trying to find the movie, and it just gets fucking crazy. That was a good one. I enjoyed that. It kind of got a little bit of a Last House on Dead End Street feel to it. The way it was
Another
filmed.
good one is Homecoming. Was it Homecoming? Or no, Loved Ones.
Loved One was good. Eden Lake was good.
Loved Ones. That's one that's really fucking brutal and really kind of depressing in a weird way.
Yeah.
Checked out The Loved Ones. That's a good one. And like you said, Eden Lake's another really good one.
Inside, Martyrs.
I mean, we could talk about, films that we've seen
The
recently.
Strangers was good.
Strangers was good.
The second one was actually good too.
Pray at Night.
That was good.
Yeah.
They're out there, but you kind of gotta know where to look. And
See, a lot of it is like you can look to us for recommendations. You can look all over YouTube. You just gotta kind of look for the people that aren't the kiss ass for Hollywood type. They're not gonna sit there and, oh, Jordan Peele this, and oh my god, you gotta check out. Don't worry about that.
I don't really
shit.
have anything against Jordan Peele and his films.
No,
I mean, they're
but-
unique, but I think that's kind of like the flavor of the week. It's kind of like when Japan brought Ringu over here,
And The Ring became
and pretty much
big
much every movie after that was kind of ringish, where it had like a chick with long black hair, and
Yep.
it's kind of horror kind of goes in cycles. We the found footage craze, the slasher phase, the zombie phase. There's just a lot of the films coming out these days. A lot of them are kind of rehashing of shit that's been made before that just makes you think, oh, that's The Exorcist, or that's
right.
Whatever. But
The originality is very. It's a thin line. You get a lot of films that do copy. I mean, like I said, like the Babadook, I actually don't mind.
no, Except the kid.
Hereditary's good. Mother was good.
Midsommar.
Jennifer Lawrence. Midsummer's good. I mean, there are some good films out there, and even like The Witch we saw in 2015.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ, how it's that old already? Holy shit. We saw that in theaters, man.
Yeah.
But there's movies out there, and if there's any information that we could tell you or any advice, is just take a chance on it, or just do research, you know, but don't listen to fucking critics. I always say that. If you
Avoid places like Bloody Disgusting.
yeah, don't sit there and read reviews. I mean, they do help to an extent.
And if you ever see anything that says Newsweek or Ain't It Cool News, says a movie is good,
or
probably avoid it.
or Ebert and Roper, like stay away from that shit.
No,
Or
Ebert-
CNN News.
Ebert's gone.
Wow, was it Roper and
Roper
no, Roper and somebody.
and Rumper Stomper, I don't fucking
But
know.
like, you know what I'm saying? Like when we look at it, it's like,
Friday the 13th, the final chapter, a reprehensible piece of trash.
yeah. You know, it's just it's kind of just do your research. You know, just look at sources. Look who, you know, who do you trust? You know, we're not like experts at this. I mean, yeah, we know a lot, but we're not experts at it. We learn a lot from other people as well, and that's
It pays to watch a lot of YouTube videos too.
yeah, and that's kind of what we wanted to do. So that's what we did. But we are going to head out of here. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in for our Halloween episode of 2023.
9th annual Halloween episode. This was fun to do.
It's been fun. So it's a little bit different of a format, and it is what it is. But we want to thank everybody for the questions and tuning in.
We had some fun. It was awesome.
It was always a good time. So
Made the journey worthwhile for sure.
with that being said, I'm your man, Google.
And I'm Skidgore. We'll see you guys next time when the planets align. Right. Next time on Descent into Horror. Cheers. Happy Halloween.
Cheers. See, now I got that awkward phase where I got to stand up and do this.
Oh, I'm still on? Thank you. Cheers.
Oh, shit. How do I... Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.